that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
For decades, Camtech School of Construction has been the leader in preparing thousands of people to advance their career as a licensed contractor. Join Camtech's free info seminar this Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Embassy Suites, USF, 3705 Spectrum Boulevard in Tampa. 1-800-875-PASS. CamtechSchool.com.
1025 The Bone. Real Raw Radio. WHPT, Sarasota, Tampa, St. Pete. And 107.3 WXGL HD2 St. Pete. Live from the WeatherTight Windows studio.
Here we go. All systems go.
This is the true story about Mackin. Check it.
Times are changing, more so each year. But the early morning Stone Pimp is here.
3, 2, 1.
People are expecting quite a bit.
Gotta figure out how to make money on this. I really want to.
I can feel it down in my plums. They're getting a nice bluish hue. Getting ready to take them to the farmer's market.
Okay, baby, but don't hurt yourself with that big juicy hog of yours.
In hard times, or when a man has worked on a job 30 years, they give him a watch, kick him in the butt, and say, hey, our computer took your place, daddy. That's hard time.
And those cars are going real fast and real fast, son.
But he's gay. He's blind.
You ready?
Oh, wait. So we're just gonna wing it?
There's a big difference between winging it and seeing what happens. Now let's see what happens.
And now.
Right now.
Now, it's Senning Show. With your host, John Senning.
Well,
And I be catching them northern fight like on the 10-pound test. Smoke cess, never fast, take a guess. I be the early morning Stone Pimp. Straight limping, wounds from drinking at the party.
Tell your friends, tell your grandma. July 7th, 1:03 p.m. Senning Show is live. And I have one of the worst cases of the hiccups I've ever had in my entire life. I'm hoping that talking on the radio is going to make them go away.
My game's tight, I wish you might take a bite out of this here toxic, melodic, neurotic.
I'm waiting.
Fresh from the harvest.
Oh, it feels like it's coming.
Seems like you're in the clear.
This label in town, top dog. Get down. Radio won't play.
Welcome to the program. We love it when you interact. 1-800-771-1025. In case you've been sleeping under a rock, you just don't know what's going on. We are streaming video live in a bunch of different ways. You can go to the 1025 The Bone Facebook page. You can go to the 1025 The Bone YouTube page. A lot of people like to get in on the YouTube. There's a chat community that seems to be growing. So get in there, chat with your fellow Bone fam. Keep it nice, but a lot of people don't. No rules, no regulations. If you want to hit us up on social media, at the John Senning, at Dizzy for Mayor. John Brennan was trying to do the thing to me right before I came in where it's like a mind trick. So he goes, if you tell me right before you're about to hiccup, I can stop it. He goes, tell me right before you're about to hiccup. And then whatever he was trying to do didn't work because I just said, okay, I'm about to hiccup. And then I hiccuped. But I think I'm in the clear. I don't think we've heard one.
So he didn't go like,
Like he didn't try to scare you or nothing.
Well, there's a mental game that you can do, and I love to do this with my wife or anybody who has them. You go, you don't really have the hiccups. You're doing this for attention. You don't really have the hiccups. Let me hear one real hiccup.
Okay.
Just hiccup for me.
Yeah.
Let me hear a hiccup.
And then they can't
they can't hiccup. So, yeah, and then they don't. My name's John Senning, by the way. That man over there is Dizzy. Shout out to Mike O for holding it down for JP. It's nice to have a big room full of people when we cross over. So now tell me the truth. Alex, was he on the air at all today? Did he speak?
A little. He was away from the mic. We had to tell him to get closer. We talked about the Swingers podcast he has.
Oh yeah, he does host the everybody knows the Swinger cast, aka the Pineapple Cast. I think it's funny because I was poking around with him months and months ago and was asking Mike O, and Mike's like, he's got to do more promotions, he's got to do this, he's got to do that. And then I think today was his first time sitting in the studio. So we're always looking for the next person who's going to step up here at the Bone and be there to help out so you don't have to screen phones. And maybe Isaiah would have a day off if there's ever a board that needs to be run. So shout out to Alex. I hope that he starts doing more stuff with the Bone and that it works out.
Yeah, he seems like a really cool dude. We busted his chops a little bit. He was a good sport about it. As far as the phones, it was nothing really, like, we didn't take much calls, so there was not a lot
to do.
Yeah, so dead guy, put him in the spin real quick. So.
That'll do it. We used to do, and it was the hardest thing ever. On Drew Garabo Live, we would do Shout Out You're Sexy. So I don't know if you've ever heard Drew do that, but it was the hardest thing to phone screen ever. And I remember being trained on it, losing my mind, and then when I had to do it by myself, never became good at it. So Drew would essentially shout out your sexy favorite cheese, and it would be so then I load up the phone lines with Swiss, cheddar, provolone, all those different things. So I'm bringing them, and then Drew is setting them up to get the punchline of his rhyme. So he would come up with the rap, and then the punchline is, I used to stick it in, I could have done better. Jimmy, shout out your favorite cheese. You know that it's
cheddar.
Exactly. So then you have to keep closing them out and repopulating them every second. And from a phone screener's perspective, it was the scariest. It was the scariest thing on planet Earth. These people called immediately. There's no way they could actually want anything of substance, but I'm curious. Senning Show, first call of the week. What's up?
Is it me?
Yep.
Hey, John, it's Jennifer, formerly from J&J at Lowe's.
Hey,
how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you? What's on your mind today?
Well, I just got in the car and heard the hiccup debacle.
Oh, well, I think I'm in the clear. I'm in the clear. We've made it.
Okay.
Do you have a tip though? I imagine.
Yeah. Well, some people think I'm trying to prank them, but if you take a glass of water and put your mouth on the far side of it, you have to bend your head, tilt down.
Is that what Monica was just trying to explain? That's so funny. And I could not understand what she was saying. So I will try that next time.
Even if I've shown people. Yeah, it totally works every time. I don't know why.
All right. I'll keep you in mind next time. Thank you. The other thing that we used to do was take a paper towel and put it over a cup of water, and then you had to chug the water with the paper towel. Like something
waterboard yourself?
Kind of. But you it has something to do with the flow of water into your gullet that I guess does the trick for you.
I've only heard the two things is scaring it out of you, like apparently, which is kind of weird because then you're expecting to get scared, and then the holding your breath.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a deep phobia, but sometime very early on in my life, it might have been on a radio show. I don't know if it was a Howard thing or if it was somebody else up in Michigan. They would highlight people that had eternal hiccups. The hiccups that never went away.
That's a thing?
Dude, it's a thing, and you start reading about it and Googling about it, and it's very, very scary. Because, everybody thinks they just have the hiccups, but sometimes they never go away.
What would you rather have out of these three?
Okay.
Hiccups forever.
Okay.
You can't breathe through both nostrils.
Oh, God.
Or what you experienced not too long ago where it feels like your hearing's plugged, like on a plane.
Man. That's really, really tough. I think I've got to take the hiccups. Just
really?
Because, at least you can breathe.
Yeah.
You can breathe clearly and everything. Here's a documentary about a woman who had the hiccups for the rest of her. This woman had hiccups for 3 years. Nonstop hiccups. An endless nightmare. So every time I get the hiccups, I just assume maybe they're never, ever going to go away. We are in the home stretch of home stretches for the Bone Beach Bash, which is going down not this weekend, but next weekend. It's Sky Beach. It all starts July 18th. I'm getting very, very excited. It is one of those things, and I say it time and time again, events don't seem real to me until we're in about the 1 or 2 week window, and it's all feeling very, very real to me. We will be broadcasting live on that Friday. Again, you do not have to be staying at the hotel to come out and party with us. I am the worst at keeping secrets, the worst ever at keeping secrets. So but I'm not, they told me not to say this yet. Well, I'll just say this much. There is going to be an element, hopefully, where we will be giving away pins pertaining to this show.
Senning Show pins?
Yes, but it's not just about the pin. It's about what's on the pin. Oh. And I can't say it yet. I had the conversation for the first time about 10 minutes before I walked in here. So I'm really, really not supposed to say anything. But hopefully by tomorrow at this time, I'll be able to talk about how you can get those pins and what's going on. Because if it comes to fruition, it's going to be very, very exciting. Did you, I feel like I'm just out of sorts with the world because it's weird. Like the last day we were here, I don't even remember when it was. And then the world has moved on. Was the last time we were here when Mo was accosting John Brennan, telling him that he wasn't going to perform at the beach bash?
Yes, that was in the crossover when we were leaving and Drew's show was starting, and we were like, "Well, you're performing, dog."
Was there more? Did more happen after that? Like, was there more drama pertaining to that?
Yeah, we joked about it when Mike and them were filling in the next day, and they're like. You were like, you can't do nothing around Disney. He's going to record. I go, well, to be fair, John's the one who told me, he's like, we should be recording.
Oh, yeah, we absolutely did record. Yeah. I watched and I was sad that I was being so annoying in the background because I wanted to hear him bitching about the fact that he was not doing comedy. And then they picked it up in the mornings. Is that what happened?
They picked it up. I think Mike and them talked about it. I think Mo called in, and then we talked about it on, when Mike O was filling in. And then I guess Mo was filling in for Drew on that Friday.
Yeah.
So I heard that he discussed it. I don't know what he said, but I heard he was like, I'm going to address it.
Yeah, I didn't really know what happened. I assumed there was some back and forth between him and maybe Mike or Galvin just from some comments that I saw. So Mo, I think where it stands right now, will not be performing comedy, but I think Johnny B will be on Saturday night. I was exchanging some messages with our boys Matt and Zach last night, who I think they're very much the same way, where it's all becoming very real for them, and I think they've got a lot of friends coming from down south up to watch them play on Friday night. So it's going to be a hell of a time. I have a weird question for you, dude. I saw a social media post this morning that has been sticking through my head. Where did you live when you were? I haven't nailed down the Dizzy timeline yet. Like, where were you when you were like 8 or 9 years old?
What grade is that?
That's let's say 5th, 6th grade.
Here.
Okay, you were here. Because somebody said something on social media and it made me think that maybe it's a Florida thing or maybe it's just a northern thing that I grew up with. Somebody said, where are all the worms? They said, do you remember when you were a kid and it would rain outside and just like the parking lots and everywhere you would go, there would just be worms everywhere? Do you recall this phenomenon?
Only in Canada. I don't remember that here.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's a northern thing, because when I heard that, it was such a core memory for me that I remember no matter where you were, whether it was the grocery store or the movies, if you were in a parking lot or in any open space right after it rained, there would just be worms crawling all over the ground. And I can't tell you the last time that I've seen that kind of phenomenon, at least in the state of Florida.
That's a good point. I don't remember it here at all.
I just wondered if it was...
we're a peninsula and
I don't know.
That way?
I don't know. I wondered if it was maybe a Mandela effect and nobody actually ever saw the worms ever before.
Did you ever do any?
I didn't do. I know. I saw it this morning, and then I was just more enamored by the fact that it was a thing, or used to be a thing, or wasn't ever a thing. That I just stopped right there because I wanted to ask if you had any memories of worms.
Again, yeah, just up north. I don't remember ever coming here and seeing them, and it would be like a smell to it.
Yeah, that's the thing too. There was a worm smell.
Yeah.
Dude, you're absolutely right. After it would rain, it would smell like worms. There would be worms. We used to go get night crawlers or worms to go fishing with right after it rains. You could just go pluck them out of anywhere. And now all of a sudden there's no worms. It's got to be.
It doesn't have a thing. It says maybe the soil health and pesticide use, and like it's nothing like, oh well, that was a northern thing, you idiot.
Well, what if we just misremembered it? What if it never actually really happened?
That would be cool to have like a Mandela effect where it's
that widespread that we all remember worms, but it's actually we just dreamt it at some point in our life. I think that's kind of fun. Dude, I have to say, we planned a trip last minute. I think it was Tuesday of last week, just on a whim. We were doing some running around and we're driving around, and I go to my wife, I said, why don't we try to go somewhere for the 4th? Like, just get out of Dodge just a little bit. First, we're well overdue. We used to, not that long ago, make it up to the mountains probably 2 or 3 times a year, and that was just, like, I would feel a calling. Like, I just would feel like it's time for me to go back, and I always feel refreshed and just love going up to the mountains for a long weekend. And it's been now a couple years, mostly because it's tough to travel with Brody, and obviously with the new show and stuff, it doesn't make as much sense. So I said, just start looking stuff up in Florida, see if there's anything out there. Immediately, the spot pops up. And I don't know if this would be considered Dade City, Brooksville, exactly where it would be, but this place pops up, and I talked about it just a little bit before I knew much about it. That said 100+ acres. This cottage sits on 100+ acres. Some of it's woods. Most of it is open farmland and things like that. And I did not know what to expect. Dude, when I say this was one of the coolest damn places, counting mountains and other stays that we've ever stayed, it absolutely was. We roll up. First of all, I am incredibly ignorant to the beauty that lay right off of 75. We got off of 75. I think it was like 41, the Dade City exit. And immediately, I feel like I'm no longer in the state of Florida. Like, we get off the highway just a little bit. There are rolling hills. It's just beautiful open fields. It just did not feel like we were an hour removed out of St. Pete. And, dude, this place, I will tell you, I watched that scary movie a little too close to our trip because everything that I saw on on this trip made me wonder if somebody was going to kill us. But, dude, we roll up, and it's this giant gate, like, think like Yellowstone style, just this giant gate you put your little coat into. And then we go in, and to paint the picture for you, when you get to the end of this driveway, eventually you hit probably 50 or 60 acres of just open green fields, just on both sides all around. And then at the top of it, there's this little cottage, which was amazing. It felt like it was brand new. But the thing that was so cool was the house is completely surrounded by farmland. So at any given point, you're sitting out on the back porch and all the cows are coming right up to your back door. There's a horse out front. There were donkeys out back. All this really cool stuff. And I was doing a little research. Turns out this whole property for some period of time was like a wellness retreat. So people would go out there, and they sold it as spend time around around the animals and hang out in the woods. And they had like saunas, and you do yoga with the cows and stuff. But dude, it was amazing, and it was specifically amazing for Brody because, dude, he was living his life. Yeah, it gave him a total like reset, at least for the weekend.
It was his wellness retreat.
Yeah, I will say, and I mean that was part of it too. Is we wanted to change the scenery. Brody's my dog, by the way, in case you're just now tuning in and figuring out what's going on here, because he and if in side note, he's been not well. He's getting to be 15 years old. It's been tough the last couple months. And I had to tell you, we get out of that car and he's just like booking it, dude. Like through these hills for as far as you could see. And it was just amazing.
Did you cry?
No, I didn't cry. I could have cried.
Yeah,
but I did not.
You're like, that's my boy.
Yeah, I was feeling that. I was feeling that internally. But just a lot of times you take little trips like that and you come back and people go, well, you're supposed to come back reinvigorated or rejuvenated. But a lot of times you're just like, damn, I wish I had more time to do that. Rather than this was the opposite of that, where I came back feeling completely rejuvenated and just soaking up some time in nature. Like we could go walk through all these fields, and then there's trails that go all through the woods. So just hiking and just being out in nature will do a lot for the soul. And
I told you this on social. That place looked like some place. Like if someone said paint John Senning's place, that's what I would assume you lived in, a place like that.
You may be right. Yeah. You may be right. And I mean, it was just so, and it's crazy because we've stayed a lot of places and things like that. And specifically for having a dog. And I've been debating whether or not I wanted to mention the listing on the show, because my concern is that I'm going to mention it and then I'm never going to be able to get it ever again.
That's your little spot now.
But it could be our little spot. But of all the great places we've ever stayed, for having Brody and being able to truly unplug, it was probably one of the best places I've ever stayed.
Yeah.
I mean, another reason we wanted to get out of Dodge a little bit, our neighborhood, dude, I don't know what it's like over in your neighborhood, and we're going to get to some serious going-ons that I'd not even been clued into.
Yeah.
Around 2:30 with a special edition of To Snitch or Not to Snitch with what's going on in Disney's neighborhood. But are they going nuts on the fireworks in your neighborhood over there?
To be honest, it wasn't as like for sure on July 4th, but like I was expecting all the other days after it was just going to be hearing them nonstop throughout the night. It was good.
Yeah, dude, our neighborhood and God love them. I like battle with what I want my stance on fireworks to be honest with you, because growing up, loved fireworks, loved going to the fireworks. In Michigan, we also could not go get a mortar. Like you can't and I don't know if they changed the laws up there, but the big fireworks, the big boom fireworks that you go and you see somewhere, like that was the only place we saw those. Nobody had them at their house, really. Some people would go to Ohio, across the state line to get illegal fireworks, and it was a big deal when anybody had it. I think the problem is that just everybody and anybody has them.
Yeah.
And that it is, dude, the last 2 years at our house, and I don't know if it's just good old boys, I don't know if it's people that have just been doing this as a tradition. It feels like every house around us is putting on a legitimate commercial fireworks show to where the house is shaking for hours on end. And like you said, it'll start 2 days before the 4th. Yeah. And even last night, like we got back yesterday afternoon, all last night they were going off. And I mean, for me, big thing is the dogs. That's become a bigger thing, I think. Did people not notice that dogs hated fireworks forever? Does it not feel like people talking about their dog's negative reaction to fireworks started like 5 years ago?
Yeah, Nicole, when we first started dating, when we spent New Year's Eve together, she wanted to bring Chalk outside.
Yeah.
And I was like, don't do that. He's going to hate it. She's like, no, he'll like being outside. I go, he likes being outside. You're right. But that noise will drive him crazy. And she saw it firsthand. Like, he was out there with her, and he was shaking. I go, look at him. And she was like, okay, yeah, I get it now.
Yeah, it is. And it's crazy because Brody was never like that. Like, I have a very, very early memory of probably he was 1 or 2. We took him like to a big park for a fireworks show.
Yeah.
And I vividly remember him like snoozed out on a blanket while we were watching fireworks and just never really bothered him. And then I want to say it might have been the first year in this house. So 2 years ago, dude, he was like losing it. Like he was just pacing. He's like drooling. I mean, on edge would be an understatement. And I understand human beings aren't going to really make decisions based on how pets react to things. But the other thing that I've learned more about, and I've seen a lot in the comments this year, is veterans, is people that, have, PTSD or went and fought anywhere and experienced a lot of loud booms like that, not in a celebratory way, in a war type of way, really, really struggle with it. And I don't know. It feels like the more people you meet out and about. Last night I was walking Brody late, and the neighbor walked out, and he said, man, he goes, I got to tell you, because I've loved fireworks my whole life. He goes, this is the year I'm officially over them. and it's because he's got a younger kid and a dog and stuff. But it just feels like more people are not anti-firework, but at least acknowledging that a lot of people are not as enthused by fireworks as they once were.
A lot of people don't acknowledge the veterans part, like you said. It's like they'll hear the fireworks and they'll be like, remember that time we saved Private Ryan? You know what I mean? Like they'll just have flashbacks and go insane.
Dude, you're not, and I learned this in a really unfortunate manner years and years ago. One of my best friends, Tim, I've mentioned him a bunch, grew up with him. He went and fought and really was on the front lines, like big time. His tank got blown up.
Oh,
he,
wow.
Messed up his neck. He's in full disability. Like he's been through some stuff. And he had come back and he had gotten married. And we went up to Michigan for the wedding. And it was like the wedding reception. It was right on a lake. It was beautiful. And somebody, unbeknownst to him, brought a bunch of fireworks.
Oh, wow.
So I just remember we're kind of sitting by this lake and doing God knows what and drinking. And these fireworks start going off. And I remember he kind of like grabbed me around the neck and he was like, dude, I'm effing dying right now. He was like, I cannot take this.
Yeah.
So we ended up getting out of there. We went and sat in the car and cranked up the music. But putting a lot of times people don't have that face to a story. And that obviously changed things for me. And I think the more the time goes on, people will think of the veterans. And like I said, it's just the fact that anybody can get it. Like if you had your big fireworks shows and that's where all of the giant fireworks were, I think that would be one thing. But when you have some people firing off giant mortars for 4 days on end, and I realize I sound like a pussy as I'm saying it, as it's coming out of my mouth, but it's just a fact of life, whether you as the fireworks shooter want to believe it or understand it, it is a fact that you're making people that fought for this country uncomfortable, and all the sweet little puppy dogs out there too.
It is crazy how we will spend hundreds of dollars to shoot in there and just watch it explode, and we're like, yeah.
Dude, I would love to know the monetary value just in the state of Florida.
Yeah,
because it's got to be in the millions of dollars when it comes to how much money is being spent on those giant-ass fireworks every 4th of July.
Like, we spent maybe under $100. And
oh, did you get some?
Yeah, we got some. Nicole loves fireworks.
That's the thing. I love fireworks.
Yeah.
I love fireworks. Danielle loves fireworks. I love watching fireworks.
Yeah, it's so my whole thing is I'd rather drive around and go look at them than just set them off myself. My cousin JoJo, he'll spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Some people, it's like in their blood. It's like a thing that they will do. Like, I think everybody knows that one person who's like, yeah, I'm going to fire off $500 worth of fireworks tonight.
Yeah. Nicole tried to set one up. I don't know if you saw the video because you were away on your thing.
No, I didn't.
So she's like, let me do the first one. I was like, okay. And she stuck it in the ground. And as she lit it and she walked back, I was like, I don't think it's supposed to be that stuck in the ground. She goes, no, it's fine. It's fine. As soon as it went off, exploded right in our front yard.
Oh, no.
Boom. And if it was a bigger one, it probably, because it was as far as you are from me.
Yeah.
So if it was a big mortar, it probably would have got us.
Shrapnel in the dome. I don't know if it's a new video or if people just like to share videos around this time of year, but there's a video of a little kid. It looks like he's, first of all, dumbest parent ever, I will say so. Kid looks like he's maybe 4 years old, and I think they're just like Roman candles, which are kind of fun, but they do shoot off balls of exploding fire. And she's like having trouble lighting it. Finally, she gets it lit, and they're standing just right out front of the house. And she finally gets it lit, and the wick starts going off, and the kid runs right into the house, and the Roman candle just starts exploding everywhere in the house. So it's I didn't see, win for Tampa at least today. I didn't see anybody that blew their hands off.
No,
like normally locally we see somebody who blew something off of their body.
My favorite part, honestly, after any big fireworks, July 4th, New Year's Eve, is the days after where all the people upload videos of the mishaps.
Yeah.
And one of the big ones I remember, there was a whole family, and you see this all the time everywhere. They'll have like everyone on the front yard and all the mortars, and just one wick went like too far and hit the van.
Where all the other fireworks were.
Blew up everything.
Dude, I've seen that's a hell of a video.
Yeah.
That's one of those videos where you watch it and you can watch a different person every time you watch it to see how freaked out they were.
One person ran and then came back and was, I forgot, this is my kid. I got to get my kid. It's a great video.
Yeah, I mean, it does happen. I mean, JPP, who
famously,
who ended up, I think, he was on the Super Bowl team, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Who ended up winning a Super Bowl after the fact, blew his whole damn hand off lighting fireworks. Like, it absolutely...
You had to wear a wrapped up nub.
Yeah, like a big old nub hand.
Yeah, and he still caught pics doing that, which is insane.
The nub man. Senning Show, you're live on the air. Who's this? We're live, by the way. It's July 7th. Welcome back, everybody.
Hey, John, it's Rob.
Hey,
tell me one thing. When you see or talk about fireworks, tell me you don't think about going, fire, 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 like Beavis. I mean...
Senning Show, you're live on the air. Who's this? Rob did something else that pissed me off last week. I wasn't as annoyed with his comment, but he annoyed me a couple weeks ago, and so that was why I hung up on you.
My mom did text me, and she goes, "You're right. It feels like it's up north thing with the worms."
So we're not totally losing our minds. Okay, good. Now that your mom's in on it, I feel
exactly. Mama Panera's on.
Senning Show, you're live. Are we talking? Are you here? 941, get it done. Have some fun.
You're both idiots. You're both idiots.
Oh, okay. Well, you want to expound upon that, or you just want to call names on
I
a
do.
Monday?
Yeah, I do want to expand upon that.
Okay. Let's do it. I mean, I feel like we've been fairly nice
You're
and
both
calm.
idiots because you say pussy, and you can't. Yeah, you both say pussy.
What? Why does that? Why does that make us an idiot?
Think about it, asswipe.
I don't know. You tell us with all your missing teeth.
I feel
Busy, you're an idiot. Shut up.
Oh, no. The girl with missing teeth is insulting me on the radio and held all that time. What an idiot.
I think like she thought we were saying something that we can't say.
Yeah.
The thing is, and just for that lady and anybody else who thinks they know better than us, if you said, eat my,
Yeah.
cannot say.
Yeah.
If I say, I feel like I'm being a pussy because I'm bitching about fireworks, that is okay.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, I would say go back to your FCC handbook, look at the bylaws under that word, and you will see it's just like I'm a dick. That lady was being a dick.
Yeah, she was.
But I can't say sit on my
exactly,
lady, nor would I want her to. So those are the differences with the words, man. But thank you for being a little ray of sunshine after a long weekend. You clearly got all the rest and relaxation that you needed.
I bet she has stains on her shirt, just on her armpits.
Oh, dude, she's the type that would be wearing the old Looney Tunes shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Like a Tasmanian devil with a bud. Oh, while they're wearing the crisscross. You remember that era?
Yeah. It was like Taz and Bugs.
Yeah, and they'd be backwards pantsing it, and then she's got taco meat stains and Kool-Aid stains all over the front of it. That is absolutely that lady. But thank you for calling, and I'm so sorry.
Thanks for listening. I'm
sorry you're upset. Who's this?
Joe.
Joe, what up, buddy?
Not much. Hey, also, she's probably got nicotine stains on her nails.
That is true. Yeah, she's seen. And I didn't even want to say the fact that she sounded like she was buzzed up at 1:30 on a Monday.
Yeah.
I didn't want to throw that part in, but.
No, I just wanted to. So you're talking about fireworks. We live near each other. You know that. The Winn-Dixie on 62nd?
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah. I know there's a big ass fireworks stand in there.
I went up there the 4th and spent $30 and was cringing because I spent $30. The guy in front of me, no lie, $1,400.
Oh my dude, it's also easy to do. Fireworks are not, especially if you start getting into any sort of firework that would impress somebody, like a big boomer in the sky, you're getting into high dollar. So you stayed in the neighborhood, I would imagine. Was it like Beirut on the 4th of July like it's been in years past?
Yeah, it was intense, but it rained until almost 10, and then there was a little bit of a break. But I heard a lot of it. But then neighbors let some off yesterday. I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah. Hey, do you remember worms coming out after it rained?
Not in Florida. I lived in Ohio. I lived in California. I remember the worms popping up, but I do not remember them in Florida.
Damn, maybe it's just not a Florida thing. Well, thanks for checking in, buddy. Have a great day.
Have a good week, guys.
You too. Could just be not a Florida thing. Oh, aggressive. Senning Show, you're live on the air. Who's this? 941. I believe this is the same number that called earlier and then wasn't there. It's probably that lady calling back and she doesn't know how to operate her phone. You idiot.
And another thing, sounded like she's chewing food while she's talking.
You guys are idiots. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. Senning Show, you're live on the air. Hey, can you help us with whatever is going on? It's very loud. It's very loud where you are. Yeah, no problem. No rush. It's your Jeep? Do you have the top off in a rainstorm?
No. I mean, okay. Is that better?
Oh, that's so much better.
Thank you.
It's like you weren't here and now you're here.
I know. I don't know why it's so bad in the Jeep. But anyways, I grew up in California. Definitely. I was wondering about the worms because absolutely you'd have that smell. You'd see them everywhere. I think it's because the soil here isn't really soil. It's really sandy.
Okay.
So I don't think it's a healthy environment for the earthworms to populate. So that's just a guess.
Okay. This sounds scientific.
Yeah, and then the 4th of July thing, I was so glad it rained and we had a reprieve from it. I was going to ask if you guys would look into something that did happen on the 4th. I haven't had a chance to look at it, but we drove. We have our granddaughter here from Denver, and we drove over to Casa Grill. On the 4th
the big fire! The big fire on the beach.
Well, yeah, was it a fire? Because it was lightning and thundering, and it was so scary. And then there was 4 or 5 ambulances and paramedics and fire trucks.
Well, I don't want to. I don't want to misquote it. There was a fire down there. I don't know if that's where you were, but a family got struck by lightning on the beach.
That's what I heard. I was wondering if anyone had looked into it. It was so sad. It was so scary. But it was like the biggest lightning I've ever heard since I've lived here in 2 years. It was so scary.
Yeah, I think everybody's okay. One of the family members had to go for a little more serious care, but I think almost everybody walked away, and they were in one of those cabanas, I think, down on the beach, and it got struck by lightning.
Oh my gosh, it was so scary.
That's crazy.
Anyways, okay.
Well, I'm glad you're okay.
Well, I love you guys. I don't know about that lady. It sounds like she was still sauced up from.
Yeah.
She's having a 4-day weekend instead of a 3-day
exactly. I think she also is sitting on like a $2,000 stack of fireworks, feeling bad about herself. Dude, getting struck by lightning. I went down this rabbit hole over the weekend of finding all of the things that are more likely to happen than are less likely to happen than getting struck by lightning.
So, like, winning the lottery.
Getting bit by a shark. Much, much less likely than getting struck by lightning.
Really?
Yes. And that's almost everything. Like getting struck by lightning is becoming, I think for a period of my life, when someone says, like someone got struck by lightning, you go, oh my God, that's the worst luck in the world.
Yeah.
How can that even happen? That is no longer the way, especially if you live in Florida, because people be getting struck by lightning all the time. I think it's already like 11 people just this summer in Florida alone that have been struck by lightning.
Do you think, this is going to sound stupid, bear with me. Do you think if you survived it, that would be something you'd want to be able to I got struck by lightning?
I believe you were here, and I think it was last week we had a dude call that had been struck by lightning.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you can go through it, but I don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze. I don't know that if you make it through that the story's worth the trouble.
Isn't there like stories of people waking up from comas and like they speak like perfect Mandarin? What if that happened to you?
The other thing is, dude, is they get these crazy, I don't know that they call them lightning tattoos, but like something happens to your skin where you get this wild, like intricate pattern ingrained on your skin from where the electricity ran through. Not everybody gets it, but it's a thing.
That's pretty cool sounding. I'm not gonna lie.
That's not like worms after rain. That's real. Don't go anywhere. Sticking with the weather theme, dude, absolutely insane weather emergency took place in Texas, and now it seems like there might be another one unfolding in North Carolina. We here in the state of Florida are not without our own weather troubles, and I would love to take calls from people that have found themselves in the eye of the storm, no pun intended, having to escape floodwaters or get out of a tornado or something like that. I've got a nice stock of tickets from Mike Olivero, 800-771-1025. If you're still waiting on the line with whatever you're waiting on, we'll get to you. But I'd like to dig into the Texas floods and take some of your calls on weather emergencies coming up next on more Senning Show. The song's ending. Let's see what's coming up next. Yeah, Hootie!
Is this I Want to Be With You?
If you've considered getting new windows, it's time to get in touch with my good friends at Reese Windows. With hurricane season upon us, not just coming, it's here. Now is the time to protect your home with hurricane impact windows from Reese. They're affordable, energy efficient, and come with a double lifetime warranty, which even transfers when you sell your home. Reese is going to get these windows installed in as quick as anybody else who's out there. And for a free quote, all you need to do is text TRUST to 20129, and you'll also be registered to win $15,000 in free windows. Reese is proud to support St. Jude's Children's Hospital, and they've been providing peace of mind for over 50 years. We are live. It's July 7th, 1:37 p.m. Let everybody know the Bone is live all the way through Drew Garabo live this afternoon. Don't go anywhere.
You won't sing. I just want to love you, but you want to wear my ring. Well, there's nothing I can do.
You're listening to Senning Show on 102.5 The Bone. Download the free Bone app to listen to us anywhere. Sponsored by Mark Spain Real Estate.
Get your guaranteed offer at markspain.com.
John Senning here. If you've considered getting new windows, it's time to get in touch with my friends at Reese Windows. Hurricane season is here, and now is the time to protect your home with hurricane impact windows from Reese. They're affordable, energy efficient, and come with a double lifetime warranty, which even transfers when you sell your home, which is going to boost its value. Reese installs windows in just 6 to 8 weeks, and for a free quote, text TRUST to 20129, and you'll also be registered for a chance to win $15,000 in free windows. Reese is proud to support St. Jude's Children's Hospital, and they've been providing peace of mind for over 50 years.
Raise a Big Daddy mug this summer at Hooters. Bud and Bud Light Big Daddies for just $6, or Mick Ultra for $6.50. Big beers, better deals, only at Hooters. 11 locations in Tampa Bay. Go to originalhooters.com for one near you.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. When we place our loved ones in a nursing home, we expect them to receive the best care. We meet with families who learn that their mothers and fathers, grandmothers and grandfathers have been terribly abused in nursing homes. Bed sores, malnutrition, broken bones, dehydration, and yes, even death. If you believe that a loved one has been abused or neglected while living in a nursing home, call us. The consultation is free.
Offices Tampa, St. Petersburg.
Brandon Honda is having its biggest used car event of the entire year. Hi, I'm Sam Robbie. Right now at Brandon Honda, get certified pre-owned vehicles from $6,900, backed up with a real nationwide lifetime warranty. Get CRVs from $15,000, HRVs $14,000, Accords $12,000, and get certified Civics from an incredible $9,000. We're approving all credit applications, plus make no payments for 90 days. Get all the facts at BrandonHonda.com.
Call 813-527-9308 for more information.
For decades, Camtech School of Construction has been the leader in preparing thousands of people to advance their career as a licensed contractor. Join Camtech's free info seminar this Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Embassy Suites, USF, 3705 Spectrum Boulevard in Tampa. 1-800-875-PASS. CamTechSchool.com. Hot in your house? Superheat Air and Plumbing, powered by the experts at ABC, has your back. Get a $29 AC system check, working or not. If it needs a fix, that $29 rolls into the repair. Fast, pro service, same day. Go to superheatandair.com.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
Ever find a deal so good you think, should I tell my friends or keep it to myself? That's Kohl's Summer Cyber Deals. Styles for sunny days, home favorites for your space, and more. All at prices you'll love. Plus, earn Kohl's Cash. Discover new deals daily and get free shipping. These deals are too good not to share. Once you've stocked up first. Shop Kohl's Summer Cyber Deals now. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Offers end July 10th. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Neutral presents the Bone Summer Beach Bash, an entire weekend of everything Bone. July 18th through the 20th at the beautiful Sky Beach Resort in St. Petersburg. The Mike Calta Show, JP, Senning Show, and Drew Garabo Live will be there all weekend to hang out with our Bone fam. For all the fun and details, head to theboneonline.com.
If you're the victim of a car crash, take back control of your life. Call Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys at 1-800-747-FREE.
Now, back to Real Raw Radio, sponsored by Anajar and Levine, Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
You might know nothing, but at least you'll know that thing. Brought to you by Just Call Mo, Tampa's injury attorney. That thing. It's time for That Thing right now on Senning Show.
1, 2, you know what to do. New truck, big lift, old roads. We've been tearing up since way back when. These wheels are innocent. New hits, new seats, no hit story. And you just can't fake that, so let's change that. Girl, let's go put some miles on it. Back
I don't want to speak too soon, but if what I believe to be true is true, we will be reunited with the Juice tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
Oh!
After all the drama, all the trouble, she had to leave the state to head out to the mountains of Montana to get away from me for a week. But after all that, I believe we are going to be prepared for a reunion. Dude,
you both took a retreat.
Yeah, we had to. I thank you for putting together the best for the holiday and stuff like that. It is. I found some of the responses in some forums to be stronger and more in depth than the first when it actually happened.
Yeah,
and it's just so funny. You know, I think we've been pretty damn honest on what you heard and everything that goes into it. But the people that seem to formulate almost conspiracy theories about what's going on, and not like and it's a fake thing, but more about they know what's really going on with me and what I'm trying to do, and it's what we're here to do. We're here so that people can come up with crazy speculation, but we talked a bit today. And we are on the right path for Judge Juicy to be back in session tomorrow at 2:00 with our beloved JoJo, and everybody's going to be okay.
Hey, man, Kumbaya Radio is going to return tomorrow.
Dude, I'm always coming back to Kumbaya. Like that's what it all comes down. We can weave off. We can take a little detour. We can do a little this. We can do a little that. But at the end of the day, I'm ride or die Kumbaya. Ooh, ride or die Kumbaya. It sounded like it rhymed for a second. Ride or die Kumbaya. That's not the word.
I'm going to die and ride for Kumbaya. No, that didn't work out.
We'll take it to the workshop. We'll take it to the workshop. A quick call before we get into what is just an insane story out of Texas. Senning Show, you're live on the air on a rainy, dreary post-4th of July weekend, Monday. What up?
Hello.
Hey.
This is Jim.
Hey, Jim. What's going on today, Jimbo?
Hey, not much. Hey, real quick touch on the worm thing.
Oh, please,
Used
yes.
to live in Ohio.
If I may, let me reset it real quick, because if you weren't listening, you may have no idea what we're talking about. I saw something on social media this morning, and it was a lady, an older lady, probably our age, that said, what happened to all the worms? When it used to rain, there used to be worms coming out of the parking lots. And then Dizzy expounded upon that and said, yeah, it used to even smell like worms. And we have come to learn that is not happening anymore, or at the very least does not happen in the state of Florida. What do you have to say about that, Jimbo?
It does not happen in Florida. I moved to Florida like 6 years ago. But sand, it's all the sand, I believe. My whole yard's sand. I don't see anything. But if you go out in the country, there's more dirt, and you do see some out there. But not like up in Ohio.
Yeah.
In Ohio, it's just so much dirt, and it's we used to go out at night, water the grass. They come out at night and catch them to go fishing.
I love it, Jimbo. Thank you.
You grew up north. Was
Yes.
it traditionary there to take off your shoes when you go in someone's house?
I am big on that. I
Okay.
am personally big on that, but it's not. Don't find any connection to Michigan. I don't. It makes me. It seems like a dumb thing to say. It's not ruining my night or anything. It is anxiety inducing.
Okay.
Like if I'm having 4 or 5 people over, you start getting to larger groups, and then it gets weird. You don't expect everybody to take off their shoes. But if we're in an intimate group, I really, really appreciate if everybody takes off their shoes. And it has nothing to do with getting dirt on the rugs or messing anything up. To me, it's like we're chilling. Like if you've got your shoes on, you're not chilling. You can't be chill with your shoes on, in my opinion.
Okay, there's something. I get that. I do get that, but it does make it awkward, because I remember that was a big thing in Canada. Like if you came in someone's house with your shoes on, you're a terrorist. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing?
I know. Is it because there's a lot of Asians in Canada? Because I do know that. I don't know. I know that in Asian culture, it's like a must.
I think we did it before they got there.
No,
but
I don't
you are
know.
right. There is a lot of Asians.
I don't know.
in
I
Canada.
thought, there's so many. Maybe they're just starting putting their own rituals in place.
I think it's a lot to do with wintertime. And when winter comes, you're grabbing all that slush and crap on your shoes. People don't want that tracked through their house. So you take that off, you put it there near the vent. It's going to, dry off, whatever. But it would be weird when you go to house parties and a bunch of people are like playing beer pong in their socks and stuff.
See, I love that, dude. To me, that's a
that.
good time, dude. If everybody's in their socks, if everybody's barefoot, like we're vibing. If I'm looking around and half the crew's in their shoes and others aren't, no, not vibing, not chill. I'm on edge. We need to be shoeless for me to feel right.
I got to be honest. You have a lot of Canadian tendencies.
Dude, I mean, I was.
You're very apologetic.
I was 25 minutes away from Canada. I could have went over the was it the Blue Water Bridge? No, what was that bridge? What's the bridge that went over?
I only know the Niagara.
Yeah, no, this was the bridge that went over Lake Huron, Canadian Bridge, Lake Huron. Which is weird because we didn't go to Canada that way. That was the closest way. Oh yeah, the Blue Water Bridge into Ontario. We would go through Windsor. So we would go to Detroit and then go through Windsor. We didn't often go the Blue Water Bridge, which then took you to, what is it, Saskatchewan? I think that's right.
Said you went mostly to drink, right?
Later in life, yeah. Or no, so it was Sarnia. So Sarnia would be probably 40 minutes from my house.
Okay.
But then, like I said, we would go to Windsor to drink and gamble and do things that we couldn't do legally.
Yeah.
In our age. Always with the shoes off. All the time.
And polite.
Exactly. Dude, so this is another instance of something I was very disconnected on purpose over the weekend when I started looking at my phone and the things that were happening. This is an absolute nightmare story that unfolded in Texas, specifically an all-girls Christian camp, I believe, Camp Mystic. They're now announcing a heartbreaking update this morning saying that 27 campers and counselors have been confirmed dead in what is some of the most devastating flash floods, not only in Texas, but in our country. They released a statement saying, "Our hearts are broken alongside our families that are enduring this unimaginable tragedy. We are praying for them constantly." You know, I have this, and as I get older, it's more this fascination and to an extent of morbid curiosity with weather. And I think so much of that, being in Florida, you get a greater appreciation for it. And I say this time and time again. Like there's nothing cooking right now as far as hurricanes right now. Everybody's fine. Everything's good. But it is within the realm of possibility that sometime next week there could be a storm in the Gulf. And then come Thursday, Friday, we're tracking a storm. And then 4 days after that, people's homes are completely uprooted. Like we're still seeing from last year's 2 storms that it has just ravaged people's lives. And you look at a situation like this, and we're not even talking about a couple days of a heads up. Really, for a lot of people, although we're supposedly some flash flood warnings, they're at a camp. They're living their best life on a summer camp, probably not with a single worry in the world. And out of nowhere, pretty much a year's worth of rain falls in the span of 12 hours and wipes out all of these different parts of Texas. It was the Guadalupe River, which surged more than 26 feet in less than an hour. And it's hard to wrap your head around a parent losing a child ever, but under a circumstance like this where you send them off to camp and then, just horrific, man. There's not really too much to say about the aftermath other than probably one of the worst things that could happen.
With the whole natural disaster things, this kind of have you ever seen the movie The Impossible?
Not the Impossibles, not the
not the that's Incredibles.
Oh, Incredibles. Sorry, okay. I was like, what's the Impossible?
The Impossible is about a family that goes to Thailand.
Oh yes. That's a great freaking movie.
Great natural disaster movie.
Dude, it's based on a true story.
Yeah,
the tsunami in Sri Lanka or whatever, right?
In
Thailand.
Yeah. And they get separated.
Yeah.
And it's the Spider-Man kid before he's Spider-Man. Because I remember watching that movie. And the acting, I was just like, did this guy really experience this?
It's a great, dude, that is a great underrated movie. We watched that not that long ago, well after it was released. And that's got to be, now it seems like ever since those tsunamis, it feels like they have boosted up the warning system on tsunamis.
Yeah.
But on that day, those people didn't see it coming.
No.
I think.
They were partying poolside.
Yeah. I think it's tough because there's so much discussion now about the warnings that they got. And so there were supposedly, I even went Canadian there. Did you hear that? Supposedly,
transforming
exactly, flash flood warnings for a couple days before. But this feels like in the category of something like that where a lot of these kids and a lot of these people at this camp and in this area went to bed not knowing that this was an option, not knowing that a wall of water wiping out everything was an option at all. And I think it's just maybe we're in a moment of time. I know a lot of people will think that this is global warming, and I'm not here to tell you that it isn't. Or you've got a bunch of people who now, anytime some major weather event happens, take to social media to tell you how it was formed by man, or the politicians are to blame. When all of that was happening in North Carolina and all of those people were flooded out, a lot of people on social media were blaming Joe Biden, especially in the cleanup. And now here we are with a tragedy in Texas, and it seems a lot of people want to make it political and blame the current president. I just think terrible things happen and terrible weather events happen. I have not been given proof in front of my face to believe that there was a major ball dropped when it comes to the warning, and also that somebody made these clouds and wanted to flood out this area. So I think a lot of that just really makes it worse, to be honest with you. We're already dealing with one of the worst stories where you hear of these camps of kids just being washed away in the middle of the night. And then it's a reason for people to beat their chest politically or argue with somebody because they think it was formed by, some sort of company that is cloud seeding. And maybe some of that stuff exists, but I have some audio. This was actually from a local station in Houston. And these kids were not at the camp with all of the girls, but these were 2 young kids. I guess this area just has a bunch of summer camps where kids go. So this was a different type of camp. And these 2 brothers, who I think it's going to say their age in here. They're middle of the night. Next thing you know, the waters are rushing in. And I don't know how I feel about sticking a camera in the face of a young kid, but I guess I can't be that mad because I'm about to play the audio.
The campsite. So tonight, I spoke with the two about their camping experience just hours after they got home. Now, first, we talked about what happened immediately when the storms and flash flooding began. And the youngest brother says, again, describes what he had to do when there was water in his cabin already.
Well, I wake up like 4 in the morning. I hear screaming from outside later on I find out that someone's cabin flooded and they were outside in the middle of rain.
We jumped up to another bed, like a top bunk, and like our bed starting tipping over, and like we got to the top really quick, and then we like this, and then like one of the walls like fall down, and
Dude, can you imagine being a kid that young? And they clearly maybe they're grieving through laughter. They don't seem totally mortified at the moment, but you would just think something like that, being in a cabin, not at home, the walls start being torn down. You're trying to not be swept away by sitting on a top bunk. And obviously these kids were okay. For many kids and many other people, the story was not a happy ending. And that is just it's terrible to think of what that was like during that time.
Yeah, I got to comment on the boys will be boys. This kid's like, there's screams, people are dying. Yeah.
He's like, yeah, we made it out alive.
But I will agree with you on that. Like, again, going back to like the impossible thing, I was thinking like, how would me and my sister do in that situation? Like, I think I would do a lot better than her because I'm more on like, all right, I could act in the moment. Like when we had a hurricane and stuff was collapsing in my parents' house, I was outside with my pops figuring stuff out right away. If it was my sister with a lot of these situations, she's dependent on whoever's around her.
She could not.
Yeah.
The flooding is just underrated terror.
Yeah.
I think we talk about all the different natural disasters and what comes along with them. And I think that, tornadoes are super scary. And obviously we just had that tornado come here where it picked that lady's house up. But when you just think about the water coming up and coming up and coming up, and I know a lot of people down on the beach experienced that during the last couple storms, and it's terrifying. And I mean, I've had that thought before, like in the last storm, I guess Milton, when we were thinking about staying, and you just go through the thought process of, okay, if the water were to come up, what are we doing? Like, are we?
Yeah.
It's a bizarre thing to have to go that far, but I'm legit putting my kayak by the back door, and I'm like, okay, if the water gets up past the counter, we're getting in the kayak, and I guess we're riding it out in there. I don't know, Matt Heller, he was the dude that did the horn blasters.
Oh, okay.
He's connected to the station and he's been around forever. He posted a video during one of the last storms of him in his apartment in a kayak for like hours on end. And bizarrely, like the power stayed on and everything, but the water is probably 6 foot up in the middle of his living room, and he's just floating in a kayak. And I know a lot of people have been through situations like this locally when it comes to having escape floodwaters or anything close to it. 800-771-1025. This person's been holding for a minute. Senning Show, you're live on the air.
So back in the 80s, it was either 84 or 87, that same camp had gotten flooded.
I saw that, dude.
So, side note, Dizzy for president.
Thank you, brother.
Dude, I did see that this morning, and it looked, let me see if I can find that. Dude, it was so creepy. So there was a Unsolved, you remember the show Unsolved Mysteries, right?
Of course, yeah.
It was an episode of Unsolved Mysteries where they pretty much covered the flooding. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it that easily.
Of this place.
Of this place or a similar place long ago in the 80s. And it was almost, I want to say that it happened on July 17th. And I don't think I'm going to be able to find it that easily. I'll try to have it in the joints. But there was a very, very similar situation that took away a sleepaway camp just the same all those years ago.
One of the scariest things to me is
Mike-O, the GOAT.
The GOAT.
We love you, Mike-O.
Yeah.
You're the man. Thank you, Mike.
Is what I would do, like when this stuff happens, what's going to happen with Chaka? Because I'm going to have to figure everything out for him.
That's honestly the reason why I talked about us planning to leave for that storm.
Yeah.
And honestly, the main reason we left was because of Brody. I mean, he's old. We're not going to be in a situation where he's ever going to be able to swim. So then I've got an old, not totally well dog that I'm hunkered down in a 2-person kayak with for hours on end. And God forbid it gets too high and we're floating through the streets. And it sounds like crazy talk, but I mean, look at it. Like, look at this. Look at what has happened locally. It's it is. Weather is a mother effer, and it is it's wild, and it can be very scary, and it can be scary without tons of warning at any given moment.
Yeah, and that's one of the saddest things to see is the footage of people who leave their animals behind.
Oh my God.
Like in the floodings, and thank God there's people who go out there and save them. But even in like the fires, you find all these. Well, I mean, some of the people couldn't get back to their house in time, which is unfortunate. But some people just like, F this chihuahua, I'm out.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is. And I mean, some situations are probably the worst decision you've ever made in your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think everyone's like, F this dog, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah.
But they're made in terrible last-minute decisions, and I don't wish to put that on anybody. Senning Show, you're live on the air. Who's this?
Oh, hey, this is Bubba.
Hey, Bubba, what's up?
Hey, so my mom lived in downtown Punta Gorda, and the last 2 ones got flooded out. She had to walk to the neighbor's house, and it was up to her chest. And she's a 65 or 66 at the time. Yeah,
dude, that's what happened down there in Fort Myers. Remember that was Ian all those years ago, and a lot of older people in mobile homes didn't leave, and sadly they were the ones that didn't make it out because you think you've waited, you think you've been through them all, and then next thing you know, the water's coming up to your head, and they're not really fit to make it.
Yeah, Ian was okay and over there, but the flooding in Punta Gorda has never really happened, I don't think, in the past 100+ years. So, like, downtown in the area it was at. But, yeah, I'm still working on that house.
A lot of people are, man. It's crazy. I always bring up, and I appreciate the call, the bizarre, like, out of sight, out of mind feeling that people must have. And it's getting better, and I don't think it's the way it was even 6 months ago, but I think the news covers everything when it's happening.
Yep.
And I'm talking about people down on the beach. I'm talking about people in Shore Acres over here, even right off of 83rd in the Riviera Bay area of St. Pete. It's like everybody goes back, and it's like, we're back, baby. We got the mainland is fine. And then you don't realize there's still houses under 6 feet of sand. And again, not comparing what happened here to what happened there. I'm just having a larger conversation about weather. And you can plan everything in life. You can plan every little detail of your life, but at the end of the day, if some weather event wants to come through, it will surely throw a wrench in everything, and possibly even worse. That's what they're experiencing here in Texas, which I cannot. Man, just thinking about those parents, like getting the call of, they pretty much told them, if you haven't got a call, then we have your kid.
Oh my God!
Which, I mean, that is like the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
Because first of all, do you really trust that? Like, you wouldn't be able to really trust it. I don't think. You'd hope that they everybody figured out. And then yesterday, there was a story that caught fire all over social media that said 2 young girls were found up in a tree that made it out of the flooding, like 30 feet up in the tree. And even the local media reported it. And then last night, the police had to come out and say, much like happens in these stories, social media caught fire of something that wasn't actually true. And I think it's just, it's tough to believe things in the breaking moments of any news story, let alone something that's as wild as this.
So that's so weird that people just lie about stories. Well, I guess it makes sense for the clicks.
It's all for clicks.
Yeah.
All for clicks. Senning Show, last call before we go to break. Who's this?
John, how you doing? This is John.
Hey, John.
I just want to, I was in a tornado, actually, which is pretty scary.
Oh, man. Where?
A couple of weeks ago in Largo.
Oh, you were in the Largo tornado.
Yeah, I was in a Bay Ranch mobile home park, and that bad boy touched down, and there was no warning, no nothing, and it literally devastated at least 30 to 40 mobile homes, and it's not being reported on, and these poor people have no place to go. I was in my house about 7 o'clock, a little bit after, and everything started like rumbling, and I walked outside, and it was hailing. I go, well, that's kind of weird. I looked down the street, no more than 200 or 300 yards down the street, and I saw a tornado. It's ripping the crap out of everything in its path.
Was that?
And I didn't know what to do. I didn't know whether to get in my car, drive away.
Yeah. Was that the park where the mobile home went up on its side and then fell back down?
Yep.
Yeah.
That fill up, and there was a lady. There was a lady in there, and she didn't get hurt.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
I know of her through a friend, Stephanie Glenn, who's a big in the thank you for the call, in the concert scene around, and her I believe husband Jeff are friends, and it was her mom who was in that trailer.
Oh.
And dude, she just, from what I understand, went flying through the air, ended up being okay. Her and her dog. But another example, like it was a weekday afternoon. Like nobody that day said, hey, we might get a tornado. And then all of a sudden you're just chilling in the crib. And next thing you know, you're flying through the air. It's the lack of warning that I think is scary with these weather events.
And that's kind of what I remember us talking about way back about the most, like the natural disasters that are scariest. Tornadoes one of the scariest because it just touches down. There's no way of really telling. Like, I guess they're going to be like, oh, this looks prime for tornadoes, but they don't know, oh, a tornado's coming right now.
I don't even think they got that on this one here.
Oh, yeah.
It's because next time we talk to a meteorologist, I'd love to ask this question. It feels like figuring out weather in the state of Florida must be much harder than figuring it out anywhere else because we're surrounded by water.
All the different winds.
Because all of a sudden it's just like there's nothing, and then a storm just pops up on the map out of nowhere, and it's got a tornado in it. Like, how could you have predicted that this one storm was going to blow up enough to have a tornado in it? And I don't think you ever really do. It's like last summer when I couldn't make it home a couple different times and had to trudge through floodwaters. Like, nobody said that was going to happen on that day. I think you're just playing with a bunch of different tropical elements here in Florida. So we'll touch more on this story in the joints today. But when we come back, I had a conversation with Mike O when I sat in on the Mike O radio show a couple Saturdays ago about children. I'm not having kids. I don't have any plans to have kids. But I think there are two trains of thought. Those that will never have kids and you worry that one day you're going to regret that you didn't have kids. The other group of people that I don't think anybody wants to talk about, and they don't even normally like to talk about it, the people that have kids and regret that they had kids. I'm hoping to hear from some people that regret having children, and we're going to do a little vroom vroom update as well. Don't forget, we got Snitch or Not Snitch coming up at 2:30. Diz is going to spill his new dirty details about what's going on in the neighborhood. All that and a bunch more coming up next on a live July 7th edition of Senning Show. Are you tired of that increasing electric bill? Did you know that the big electric companies are still increasing their rate this year? 20%, and that's just the start. Paying an electric bill is a never-ending payment where the bill only gets higher and higher, and you're really just renting your power. The time is now to go solar with Solar Bear. The average Solar Bear customer is saving $2,000 a year by switching to solar, and Solar Bear is a local company that's been in business for over 10 years and served over 10,000 satisfied customers with a 4.7-star Google rating. And the math is simple on their special. Right now, first 12 months, no payments, completely free. So the electric bill goes way down, if not eliminated, like it is in some cases, and you have no payments on the panels for the first 12 months. Save that money, pay it towards something, whatever you want to do. Call today for a free estimate or check them out online at solarbear.com.
You're listening to Senning Show on 102.5 The Bone. The Bay has elite wings, but whose are the best?
Tell me likey. Tell me want wingy.
102.5 The Bone and Stella Artois are on the hunt for the Bay's best wings. Visit one of the participating restaurants and enjoy a Stella Artois with some wings. Then scan the QR code and vote. The restaurant with the most votes will be crowned the best wings in the Bay and be featured on the Mike Calta Show. Plus, you can win cool Stella gear just for voting. For details and locations, visit theboneonline.com. Thanks to Whiskey Wings in Oldsmar, The Galley, $5 Drinkery Pinellas Park, Locals, and Sunset Grill.
Involved in a car accident? We understand the pressure you're under. Call Farah and Farah. Tampa.
Rollovers, head-on collisions, hit and runs, you name it. We've litigated it.
And while insurance companies joke about the mayhem that occurs on roadways, we've seen the real effects. Lost lives, catastrophic injury, cars crushed like soda cans. And trust us, there's nothing funny about it.
If you've been in a crash, count on our experienced attorneys to seek full justice and all the money your case is worth.
For a Farah fight, you know who to call. Farah and Farah. Tampa.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
John Senning here. Are you ready to win $15,000 in new impact windows from Reese Windows? Well, pick up your phone right now and text the word TRUST to 20129. That's TRUST to 20129.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before, protecting America, fighting for you. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey, Josh, what's with all the fans? And what are you doing with our cooler? It's as hot as heck in here.
I know. The AC's out again. I'm converting our cooler into a makeshift portable AC unit.
You just ruined our new cooler. Why didn't you just call Climate Design Home Services?
I called the other guys. They can't get to us until 2 weeks from now. I'm sure they're all booked solid.
Josh, Climate Design Home Services can install AC systems typically the same day. They have licensed HVAC, electrical, and plumbing crews to take care of our entire home. And right now, we get our choice of a hot water tank up to 50 gallons or a whole home surge protector when we install an AC system. We can finance it too. Plus, they have over 1,500 five-star reviews and service the entire Suncoast region.
Okay, I'll call now. In the meantime, if you're looking for the ice, it's in the cooler.
Ugh.
Call Climate Design Home Services today and get cool air fast. Go online for offer details at climatedesign.com or call 727-295-1572.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
1025 The Bone. Real Raw Radio. WHPT, Sarasota, Tampa, St. Pete. And 1073 WXGL HD2 St. Pete. Live from the WeatherTight Windows studio. And now, back to Senning Show. With your host, John Senning.
Some people call me the space cowboy. Yeah. Some call me the gangster of love. Some people call me Maurice. Cause I speak of the pompous of love.
Welcome back to Senning Show. Hope everybody had a nice, relaxing, rejoiceful, celebratory 4th of July weekend. All fingers and toes intact. I'm John Senning. He's Dizzy. If you didn't know, you can watch The Bone. We're live at the 1025 The Bone Facebook page and the YouTube page. A lot of people like to get up in the YouTube, get up in the chat. Appreciate everybody who watches along. I think it's good and easy to be able to listen at work. You can open that bonus tab with either the YouTube or the Facebook in it and still listen to us under the radar. At the John Senning, at Dizzy for Mayor on social media. I'm still finding new gems from Wild Fork. This past weekend, we were at our little farm getaway, and I stocked up big time on my Wild Fork goods before we hit the road. And on Saturday night, I did tacos, fajitas, whatever you'd call it. And I got, for the first time, it is pork fillets for fajitas. Ooh. And I was not sure what to expect, but they come in a sauce already, and they're kind of like mini tenderloins. I grilled them for maybe about 5 minutes each side. They fell apart like butter, were perfect on a little corn taco with some cilantro and onion. one of the many, many things that I'm always finding at Wild Fork. I could go in there every day for the rest of my life and still be finding new things. I also tried the Berkshire breakfast sausage, which I had on Sunday morning. Delightful as well. You can order online and get it delivered right to your home, which one is my favorite things to do. You can order online and go pick it up. It'll be ready for you right when you walk in the door. Or just go on a shopping spree. They've got locations in South Tampa, West Chase, and St. Petersburg. Check them out online. If you become a member, it's $1.90 a month. Then all of your delivery fees are free. Check them out today at wildforkfoods.com. Oh, by the way, if you would do me a big favor, I posted it at a weird time, I think on Thursday afternoon. If you go to the 1025 The Bone Instagram page, I posted a video of me cooking burgers and shopping for burgers at Wild Fork. If you could do me a big favor and just go throw a comment, a like, a little fire emoji, a vroom vroom, whatever feels right on that video for me at the 1025 The Bone Instagram account, that would be very, very, very much appreciated. Did you, I feel like I'm going to need to stop asking, but did you watch any of the race yesterday?
Yeah, I did.
You really did?
I did. I didn't like that they weren't going as fast, I guess, because
it is tough. I'm trying to temper my expectations and not hate on the street courses and the road courses.
Yeah.
Because it is just different. When you've got a big circle where they're just hauling ass, pedal to the metal the whole time, this is much different. But it does look really cool. Like the fact that they're down there right in the heart of downtown Chicago where they have made the actual streets a NASCAR track. Dude, it would be so cool. I don't know if St. Pete is on the map enough, but dude, I would love to see them do that in St. Pete, like how they do the Grand Prix.
Yeah.
And bring NASCAR to St. Pete. Did you stay with it long enough to catch the drama at the end? You know, Bubba Wallace got crashed.
I only tuned in near the end.
Yeah, that's really all you needed to see. That was the highest intrigue of the day.
And I think I just lucked out by seeing it because it was like, and it was like Bubba, I don't know the racer he was with, but he was kind of Bowman. He was kind of like trying to crash him out. Not crash him out, but keep him from getting ahead.
Yeah.
So he clinched him on the wall, and then he got out, and then he hit Bubba back. I'm like, yo, this is awesome.
It was wild.
Yeah.
The end of the race was very, very wild, and it was like bumper cars, and it was some of just you said it, the racing not as fast at points, but dude, there were some shots at the end of the race yesterday because they had a big storm coming in.
Yeah.
And there was this fog-like apocalyptic storm coming through downtown Chicago, and it was wild because in some of the straightaways, it was like they were driving out of it, and it got pretty exciting there at the end. It was weird. There was a caution, so it technically ended under caution. And dude, this New Zealander who just wins all of the road tracks and the street courses, Shane Van Gisbergen, he's the guy who said it was coming out of both ends when he won the Mexico City race. Pulled it off again yesterday, but there was at least some high intrigue there at the end of the race with everybody crashing each other. Multiple instances of drivers getting into it once they got out of their car. Joey Logano got into it with Ross Chastain. Bowman and Bubba got into it.
Yeah.
So if it's not going to be fast, at least there'll be some good drama. And if you don't know, you can hear all the NASCAR races, the Cup races, right here on 102.5 The Bone.
It's funny because I cut it off. I didn't watch the whole thing because we had to run out. When I came back, I watched Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I saw that. I never knew there was an extended version of that.
I've probably seen it. What was in it that you don't remember being in the other one?
For instance, there's a whole thing where he has to go back to his town and he's delivering pizzas. He crashes into the police guy, but then he's riding the bus in one scene before he's on his bike. I'm like, that wasn't in the thing.
Yeah, I don't think I remember that. I don't think I remember that either. Did I tell you it was a thing I saw online because everybody's talking about the new Days of Thunder, which is essentially locked in. It's happening.
Yeah.
Jerry Brockheimer, who was on the show, on the Mike Calta show last week, and Tom Cruise have said it's a done deal. We're both locked in. We're working with NASCAR. We're working with Hendricks, and we're going to make it happen. And I saw pretty much a post that made me think, and it said, Days of Thunder made NASCAR cool. Talladega Nights made NASCAR a joke. It's time to come back and make NASCAR cool again with the proper Days of Thunder, which I don't know the storyline. Is Tom too old to be the driver that's in charge, or is he going to be the guy? Have you seen Days of Thunder?
Yeah, I have. But what's weird too, because I heard that was not well received. And that was the reason why no one wanted to touch Talladega Nights. Like NASCAR is like, we don't want our exact cars in there because of what happened with Days of Thunder.
Days of Thunder?
And then Talladega Nights did really well. And they were like, maybe we should invest more back into
Well,
this.
it's crazy because NASCAR was like fully on board and in the mix on the making of Days of Thunder.
Yeah.
Like they were, Hendricks Motorsports specifically, like gave them access to the cars, and they were driving at the tracks. Like they were actually in the tracks and filming the movie during some of the races. So I'll be curious to see if they can get that much access. And I think NASCAR's due for it. Being as balls deep as I'm into NASCAR right now, I think they need to make some moves towards getting younger people interested and getting more eyes on the sport.
Well, I think their best move was getting Tom Cruise to come back and be a part of this, because the same thing he did with Maverick, where first Top Gun, maybe nostalgic, maybe you like it, not that great of a movie. That second one, with just some of the shots they do, because he's all about like, I want this to look good in theaters, so I'm going to have you guys all learn how to fly jets, and we're going to put cameras in there with you guys flying jets. Same thing with this.
Yeah, and
we're going to put you in the mix, probably not in danger, obviously, because of insurance purposes, but it's going to look awesome on screen.
He does all of his own stunts. He is much more of a badass than he gets credit for.
Yeah.
I think he is. I don't know how weird or not weird he is, but I think he very much is a badass. 800-771-1025. I teased it before the break, and these stories like this just they just pique my interest. And this lady is probably getting more backlash than she deserves. But if let me find out what Mike Olivero gave us real quick. If you are willing to have a conversation and admit to the fact that you regret having children, I will take that call. Hold on. We've got Offspring tickets. They are coming to the AMP on July 12th. We've got Counting Crow tickets. They're coming to the Bay Care Sound on July 20th. And a day to remember with Yellow Card at the AMP on September 27th. I will part with some tickets if you're willing to have an open and honest conversation about the fact that you regret having children. So this woman, her name is Derica Hill, and she had a pregnancy that was a little bit rocky, maybe not even fully planned. And she's been very open on social media about the fact that she thinks her baby ruined her career. She was a career-oriented woman, and she says all of these hopes and dreams, what the hell, that I had are gone now because I had my baby. And people took that as, well, just come out and say it with your chest. You regret having a kid. And you want to just kind of paraphrase it as, well, he ruined my career. I can't do all of this. When in reality, people online are calling her a bad mother and saying that she hates her son. She claps back and say, I don't. He is my whole world. But being a single mom and trying to work in corporate America is tough. And it's so weird. And I referenced that conversation that I had with Mike O a couple weekends ago when I was on with him, because he was kind of grilling me a little bit about us not having kids. And it is this total double-edged sword where the window's closing. Like, we're cruising towards 40, and I know people are having kids after 40, and it's probably totally possible. But the window is closing undeniably. So then you go forward and you say, we've committed to not doing this. And that little tiny voice in the back of your head goes, am I going to be 60 years old? Am I going to be 50-something years old, 70 years old? And go, man, you missed the one thing you were supposed to do. And I say that just because that's what people say. You know, the people that want you to have kids and want to talk you into it say, this is what we're here to do. Like, what else are we here to do other than that? And I don't have that right now, but I wonder, will I have that voice when I get older, when I get much older? And I don't know. But what would be worse than that is kind of fighting through the feelings of not really wanting to do it. And then you get into having a kid. And I really can't see it happening because you've created this life, beautiful little being. But you get 2-3 years into having a kid and you go, damn, this really wasn't the thing. This wasn't for me. And of course you love your kid. I don't know. I think 90% of people, even if they have a kid that they somewhat regret, they love their kids still, and they always would. But I don't know which would be worse. Regretting having a kid or regretting not having a kid?
Regretting having a kid.
I think so. Because then you
feel like you made a mistake. And what could have my life been if this little monster didn't come in here and ruin me financially?
Well, I think those are similar questions that you ask yourself on the other end too. What would have my life been if I was a parent, if I had kids, at that point, it's not happening. But if I had grandkids, you get to be 70 years old, you go, oh, damn, I'd love to be a grandkid. And I'm not a grandparent. I'm not saying these as emotions that I'm feeling. These are just things that I'm open to feeling when I get to be an old man one day.
I think those feelings kind of go away quickly. Like, for me, I always planned to have a family. And, like, with my ex, we were planning, like, all right when you're done school, we'll work on this, but you're busy with school. I'm trying to get stuff in the radio. I think, if anything, it would have and let's assume me and her stay together, it would have made matters worse. Because then it's like,
yes.
I'm not going to live the life I want with radio. Now I have to, go buckle down and get a 9 to 5 doing this, which I have no passion for, but it's going to pay the bills. It's going to allow me to do A, B, and C all the time. You know what I mean?
No, I absolutely know what you mean. And that was, we never were really in on it. Like, we've never really had a discussion ever, my wife and I, about like, do we want to do this? Are we doing this? It was always just been pretty much a no. But I will say there was that whole period of time, like when I'm part-time and when I'm working at Ruby Tuesday, where even if it was a thought, I'm thinking to myself, well, you can't do this now. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to try to raise a kid on a dual Ruby Tuesday income while I'm trying to work part-time. I think those are responsible moves. And the response that I'm sure somebody will give and everybody gives is, you're never ready. You know, and I don't know that is a good thing or a bad thing. But Senning Show, you're live on the air. Who's this?
What's up, fellas? It's Ken.
Hey, Ken. What's going on, buddy?
Good show, as always. Vroom, vroom.
Vroom,
so
vroom.
I'm an older dad. I'll just start off by saying I would never regret having my son, but he sure can be annoying sometimes.
See, but how old is your son at this point?
He's 15.
Oh, see, that's the did the annoying factor, did it take a while to kick in until he was a little, like he was a teenager pretty much, so now he's pushing back and he's annoying, or did you have these feelings almost initially?
He doesn't even really push back that much. It's just, they don't really use their brain. But really, I wanted to tell you about a little insight that I had regarding NASCAR. I'm sure you understand now that these cars don't really run on gasoline; they run on cold hard cash.
Okay, I get where you're going with this. Okay,
lots and lots of it. So the Senning Show has been wonderful. It's obvious that you guys have some motorsports knowledge. You're learning, and you want to plug in. If you were to say, pick up the phone and call Joe Gibbs Racing, we did this for a company that I used to be a part of. They will take your money and they will allow you to put the most insane graphic that you want on a car and go up there to Joe Gibbs Racing and do a photo shoot. And they will even take your money and you can sponsor the D pillar in the back, 12 by 6. For X amount of money. But you could get a Senning Show car and do pictures and do everything. It'll never see the track, but you could use it for, any type of, marketing and all that stuff you wanted to do.
Well, you mentioned one thing, sadly, that we don't have any of, and that's money. So you had me up until, hey, one day. I like dreaming big, and I love the idea of a Senning Show logo, even if it's on a back quarter panel one day in a NASCAR race. But you are right about the money, and I appreciate the call. And that's so Josh Maloney from Pitbull Toddler, we've talked a bit, and he's come on the show and talked about how what he does is directly connected to NASCAR and the advertising and things. And once you do get a little bit of a peek into that world, it is just wild, the amount of money that's being thrown around on a daily basis on a single race where, one sponsor for one day, I don't even know what that number is, but more than we would make in years of doing this job that they pay to put on a NASCAR for one Sunday afternoon. So I appreciate where you're going with that, sir. And again, maybe one day. I just don't think we're there quite yet.
No, if they're like, Disney, we can't pay you. But also, we're sponsoring big NASCAR, so make yourself available to go do a press stuff with John.
Now, I don't know if it would make it more or less likely, and this might be a big boss question, but we run the races on the station, so we have a relationship with the MRN, which is the big motorsports racing network. So maybe just as a courtesy. Maybe they could give us just a fake car just for fun, like just for all the good that we do.
Yeah, we put on natural vroom vroom on. So why don't you just give us a little shell of a car that we could use just for photo purposes?
And we're working all of the angles. I have to say, shout out to Rory with Roush Racing. Shout out to Josh Maloney and shout out to our contacts at MRN in Daytona, because we're working on trying to do some really cool stuff in the future. I'm just not sure if it's all going to come to fruition. Checking in on social media at the John Senning, at Dizzy for Mayor. Pee Wee He Man says, John, you can have kids at any age. You really can these days, but also at some point, and I'm not there yet, at some point, I do feel like you're kind of screwing your kids. Like if I have a kid at 60, I mean, by the time they're getting towards high school, graduating high school, I'm going to be damn near 80 years old. And it's that actually doesn't sound so bad.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, it doesn't. It doesn't sound good.
Imagine you're an athlete and your football game, your dad's in the stands like, that's my son.
That's my
boy. He's right
I
there.
got to get my walker down here and get out to him. Yeah, there's just, I also grew up with very young parents. Like, I couldn't imagine what it would be. Like, I had friends, and I would go to their house and be like, damn, your parents kind of seem more like my grandparents.
Yeah.
And they were fine, but I think there's something to being a young parent, and you're also done early, which that window is closed for me because my parents were, I think I told you this a few weeks ago. We had determined, pretty much if Danielle and I had kids within the first year of us getting together, we'd be sending kids off to college, which is insane to think about. And that sounds kind of cool too, though. I mean, good thing we didn't. I don't think I'd be sitting right here, but
my boy, his dad, he was a Korean guy. His dad was he was Korean.
Oh, I thought you said he's a cream guy. I'm like, what the hell does that mean?
His dad was, like you said, kind of like would be my grandparents' age. And I can tell you, they did not have a good relationship because there was nothing to bond on.
Yeah.
He was always tired. They just did nothing
Become
together.
like a caretaker at some
Yeah,
point.
exactly. So, having kids at an old age, you can do it at any age, but you got to think about what their life's going to be at some point.
Are you guys talking about cooking one up together? Original recipe?
We have talked about it, and Nicole's like, "What do you think?" I go, "I think I don't want another girl. That's going to be a lot of women."
That is the risk that you run.
Yeah.
That is an opportunity that you could be seeking by planting the seed.
So we made a deal. If it's not, we put it down. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't go anywhere. I don't even know the finer points of what happened at Dizzy's neighborhood over the weekend, but I think it got pretty ugly. Were hands thrown? Were weapons used? Were the authorities called? Or should they be? We will delve into to snitch or not to snitch with fresh neighborhood dirt in Dizzy's hood coming up next with more Senning Show. Your AC is most likely crying for help. Fix it now and save some cash. Hawkins Service Co. is giving you 15% off all AC repairs now through July 31st. From mystery noises to total breakdowns, they've got the fix for you. Fast, fair, and affordable with no gimmicks, no fluff, just 15% savings. You can give them a call at 813-445-8209. It's everything covered under one roof. Plumbing, electrical, HVAC, even pool repair and generator maintenance. You can book online. HawkinsServiceCO.com. Hawkins, one call, handles it all.
If you try, all that I want for you, my son, is to be satisfied and be simple.
You're listening to Senning Show on 102.5 The Bone. Tell us what you think. Head to the 102.5 The Bone app now and leave us an open mic. The Open Mic on the free 102.5 The Bone app is sponsored by 1-800-ASK-GARY.
If you ever find yourself inside the emergency room, surrounded by these sounds, by these voices, by these machines, may you find our team of expert emergency caregivers at your side.
You're gonna be okay. Just grab my hand.
This is the power of the human spirit. Advent Health ER, 24/7 access to convenient emergency care. Go to theerexperts.com for locations near you. Advent Health, feel whole.
And now, breaking news. You leaving me. Your state-of-the-art 65-inch 4K smart television. For going out with friends and not staying in to watch TV. Sources confirm that is a terrible decision. Picture-in-picture mode. Do your friends have that? Can they simultaneously stream live sports and extreme baking shows? How about I make everything sepia? Whatever you want, I'll do it. Just don't put me on standby.
Don't listen to your TV. Head out with your friends and grab some ice-cold Heinekens. Must be 21 plus to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly.
During the month of July, Renewal by Anderson of Tampa and Sarasota has a huge summer sale. You buy 4 windows or doors, you get the 5th for free. Plus, no money down, no payments, and 0% interest for 18 months. Renewal by Anderson. Go to bestwindowsflorida.com. That's bestwindowsflorida.com. Superior products, exceptional service.
Now is the time to check your homeowner's insurance and ensure that you're covered before the next storm hits. Italiano Insurance can help give you that peace of mind. Even if your mortgage company doesn't require flood insurance, your home could still be at risk for flood. And now is the time to make sure your family is fully protected. Call 813-877-7799 or visit ItalianoInsurance.com today. Italiano Insurance, serving our community for over 60 years.
Are you ready to elevate your social game? This is John Senning here for Cava Social Club in downtown Bradenton, your go-to spot for fun and relaxation 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This is not just any hangout. It's a community social club with incredible weekly events on Wednesday, karaoke night, where you can unleash that inner rock star. On Thursday, test your knowledge with trivia night, great questions, great prizes, and even better company. You need some relaxation? Well, treat yourself on any one of their many massage nights and let your stress just melt away. Showcase your talents at open mic night or strategize with fellow enthusiasts with the ever popular Sunday Chess Club. The night market is a must visit with local vendors, delicious food, and handcrafted goodies that are sure to make it a night to remember. Dive into the amazing events going on at Cava Social Club today and visit them online at thecavasocialclub.com and on social media at Cava Social Club. Cava Social Club, where your vibe attracts your tribe. Boola, baby!
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-419-2387. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-419-2387. 800-419-2387. 800-419-2387.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
Neutral is sending you to see Cage the Elephant open for Oasis at their sold-out show in California. And front row tickets to see them in Clearwater on September 17th. Visit theboneonline.com to find where you can enjoy a Neutral and scan the QR code to enter. Neutral. Keep it tasty.
When it really matters, choose Farrah and Farrah. Here for you, here for good. Tampa.
Now, back to Real Raw Radio. Sponsored by Anajar and Levine, Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Now, back to Senning Show. With your host, John Senning.
What a quad! Shot Kickstart!
Welcome back to Senning Show. It's that time of the year where everything is working against your clean car. Days at the beach, sandy back seats, rain, bugs, pollen, and everything in between. That's why you need to think about the unlimited membership plan from Bubble Down Car Wash. You can go through as many times as your little heart desires to ensure that your car is clean every single day. They got the long wash tunnels, the spacious vacuums, and the amazing staff that always take care of every little detail. Locations in Tampa, Brandon, Riverview, Wesley Chapel, and Palm Harbor. Get in there right now, would you? You'll have the cleanest car in town every time you bow down. I got to touch on this real quick before we get to Dizzy's dirt over the weekend, and we'd love to hear your opinion. I don't know the story yet, so I don't know what my opinion is going to be for to snitch or not to snitch. But Drew had sent me this in the first segment. When we started the show today, I had a bad case of the hiccups, and I said every time I get the hiccups, I get scared that they're never going to go away. And I felt like there were stories of people in the past. Dude, this woman was a murderer. I don't know if she murdered people because of her hiccups. Jennifer Ann Mee is a convicted American murderer known as the Hiccup Girl for her long-lasting case of the hiccups. Mee was arrested for first-degree murder in 2010. After a trial, she was convicted and sentenced to life in prison without parole in 2013. In 2007, when she was 15, she gained international fame when she developed a case of uncontrollable extended hiccups. She continued to get attention after the hiccups stopped. Okay. I'm trying to see who she killed. Oh, yeah. So she had hiccups forever. They healed themselves, and then she killed somebody.
After she was healed?
Yeah. In 2010, she met up with a 22-year-old man she encountered online. She invited the man to a vacant home where two of the lady's friends robbed him of less than $50 and then shot and killed him.
Oh, my God.
So she was an accomplice. So, and I think, was this local? Yeah, this was in Pinellas County. This was in St. Pete.
It would have been funnier if, as she had the problem with the hiccups, she was doing the murders.
Yeah.
And she was like threatening people like, I'm going to my time with you and we're going to have a great.
Well, my thought when I first was reading through it was, did the hiccups drive her to kill? Like, I would think it would cause you to do terrible things. If you had the hiccups and you pretty much were accepted, they would never, ever go away.
I think the suicide rate would definitely climb. Oh, you got the hiccups
No,
again?
I felt like I did. Dude, I'm not going to lie. No. I felt like one was coming, but it's not. All right. 800-771-1025. You want to hit us up on social media at The John Senning, at Dizzy for Mayor, streaming live video on Facebook and YouTube if you want to leave a comment there. For snitch or not to snitch. This has become a bit of a theme here in our respective neighborhoods. Mine a little bit more mild, pertaining to dogs attacking people and people spraying grass on my driveway. In Dizzy's neighborhood, we've had fights breaking out. We've had fires started. We've had fire extinguishers being used as weapons and things like that. And up until this point, Dizzy, true to his word, he is not a snitch. He is not a rat, and he has not told anybody anything. But from what I understand, something happened while we were off that may have you rethinking that, or maybe not.
So Friday morning, I wake up, and early morning, Nicole's still she's cleaning the house, and I go out because I had to get something from my car. So I go out into my car, and I open the door, and all the stuff from the center console is just all across my seat. And then the glove compartment all across the passenger seat. And I'm like, do we get hit?
I got to ask the question before anybody else thinks it. Was it locked?
So, no. The question, long story, no. So I'm trying to convince myself. I go, maybe it's Nicole. Maybe she needed something out the car. But I'm like, no, she's cleaning right there. Someone definitely was in my car.
That is the worst feeling. It's just an underrated, terrible feeling. Even if your car was unlocked, when you go into your place, into your vehicle, and you see your stuff everywhere, it ignites this little bit of rage and just you've been taken, which you have been. You've been taken. It is a very underrated bad feeling to have, even with something that's quote unquote, inconsequential.
Yeah. So, and this, I've seen this happen to when I lived with my grandparents. Their car got robbed one time. Thankfully, they didn't have nothing in it, but it was the same thing. You know what it looks like. Everything's strewn out. They're not going to put it back. They're just going to move on to the next car.
Inconsiderate.
Yeah, so I immediately go inside, and I'm enraged.
Is it in the video? Is it in the range of the video?
So I'm looking through the phone. I'm like, what happened? What happened? And I'm
check the tape.
I'm checking the tape. Run the tape.
Dude, a true domesticated homeowner goes to his Ring doorbell cam to try and figure it out.
Because I thought about it. I'm like, I could absolutely see my car and everything from the tape. They have to be in there. Well, the person has to be in there. Look at the tape around 3 a.m. 3-ish a.m.
Is it lit, or are you looking at shadows at this point?
No, you could make out everyone kind of without faces because it's so far.
Dude.
So
it might as well be a sex tape with your girlfriend. Like to watch somebody open your doors and just have their way in your own vehicle must have been a sickening feeling.
So I'm watching it and I see it happening, and Nicole's talking to me, and it's just white noise. And she's like, "What's the matter?" I go, "We got robbed. Someone went in our car." And she's like, "What?" I go, "There's 3 of them." So they were like, and they were just hitting every car.
Did they, to go back a little bit, was anything taken that you knew of, or?
So crazy stuff. Like one of the first things I saw on the passenger seat was Senning Show sticker.
Oh, they didn't take them? These bitch ass hoes. Come on. Dude, what the hell, man?
They're probably like, what the hell is this?
That actually makes me feel good. That makes me feel like we're hitting the right audience out there if these thieves aren't fans.
So
it still hurts, though.
They took, so there was like, I think I mentioned this on air. There was like a ring in there that I had I found at the fields, and it was someone's wedding ring. I just didn't know who to turn it into. And I put out like an email. No one ever responded. They took that. That's probably worth a couple $100.
They took the ring.
Yeah. So, and they probably thought like, oh, this is whoever's wedding ring. We got him. They took our ashtray. Because there's roaches in there.
Oh, damn. Oh, man. These poor souls were eating. Dude, that makes me feel bad for them almost. They needed those.
Exactly.
They needed those roaches.
So they took all that stuff, and I'm pissed. I'm like, I don't know how they got in. And Nicole's like, well, I don't think I locked it properly. Like she didn't lock it properly. I'm like, all right, whatever. Still shouldn't be going around looking in people's cars.
I want to touch on that just for a second because I saw, Finn Dave, right?
Yeah.
Finn Dave over the weekend, his car got broken into. Same deal.
Oh, really?
And he said that it was not locked. And I've had my car broken into in the past when it was not locked. In between the general public and even the police to a certain extent, it almost feels like if you don't lock your car, you would think that it would be legal for strangers to go in there and take your stuff. The way that being robbed in an unlocked car is kind of like, I should have locked your car. Like it's somehow your fault. Like you're in the wrong or you're the criminal because somebody came into your property and took your stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So it's kind of, you are right so I go outside again. And as I'm going out, I hear the neighbor above us. I'm like, hey, did your car get hit? And he goes, and he was on the phone. He goes, yeah, it did. I go, oh, really? He goes, yeah, they hit my car. And he goes, they dropped a key in it. I'm like, they dropped a key? Yeah, and he goes, yeah, I don't know if it was one of them or maybe they found it in another car and just threw it down there or whatever. But he goes, I'm going to turn it in the next day. And I go, you calling the cops? He goes, no. He goes, I'll make a note with management, but the cops aren't going to. It's kind of what he said. He goes, cops aren't going to do anything. The door is unlocked. They're going to be like, what are you going to do? I go, well, I got them on tape. And we're talking. And as I'm talking, I look over. I go, that's them right there.
No.
They're like across the street from us. So basically, they're on an apartment complex that's on the corner. And they're just like, you could see their balcony, like, because they're on the ground floor. They're like in the netted thing.
So they were in an actual apartment. Like they
lived a rock throw away from
that. Seems like irresponsible criminal activity to be robbing people within the proximity of where you live.
You don't S where you eat type of thing. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I go, there they go right there. And he goes, that's them? I go, they're wearing the same exact thing.
Because
they have not changed.
This is early morning. So this is like 4 or 5 hours before when the robbery had taken
exactly.
place.
And this is like 9 a.m. And I could see one of them smoking on the porch, probably our stuff.
Oh, you're roaches.
Yeah. And
you're
then
like, that's my stuff.
Then you could see the others kind of like just sitting facing this way, so they know what's going on. They're probably like, oh, look at them. They're trying to figure out what happened.
So if I can take the veer and the difference between you and I to the snitch or not snitch, if I've got eyes on them and they are on this tape that I have of them doing it, I would have felt like that would have been the perfect opportunity to be able to actually get them in trouble.
Yeah. But see,
I have a feeling that's not what you did.
So Dizzy likes to see red sometimes. So Dizzy goes inside. When he sees this, I go, there they go right there. And the other guy is like, he kind of already went inside because we finished talking. And I walk back inside. I go to the back. I get my bat.
Oh, Jesus, dude.
And I grab my bat. And Nicole's like, what are you doing? And I go, get my piece.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I clip it. I put it in the back, in my back pocket,
dude,
like in my back hip. And I start going towards the door. She's like, what are you going to do? I'm like, I'm going to go have a word with them. I'm going to go talk to them. And she's like, no, you're not doing that. And she stands at the door. And she's like, what's the end game here? You're going to go shoot them? I go, no, this is so I don't get jumped. But I got to say something. And she goes, no. I go, well, I'm not going to call the cops because if we call the cops, they're not going to do anything.
I mean, I kind of agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
I will say I think within this exact situation, you do have the perfect scenario for them to possibly get in trouble.
Yeah.
But that being said, I don't know how close all of this happens. You then might have those people living right across from you that now know that you called the cops.
Exactly.
Which is, that's not any sort of life to live either.
And that's the thing, because then I was like, if I go around and I take the long way, they're not going to know where we live or whatever. I go, we call the cops. Cops are going to pull up to here. They're going to see it because they're in eyesight of us.
We gotta live
see
here.
us talking, and then we're going to go point, and then we have to deal with the repercussions for the rest of the time.
You're not completely wrong. And I mean, it's not like you're going to have any it's not like the cops are going to post up overnight and make sure they don't come back.
So I'm like, so what do we do?
We got to do something.
Yeah, we have to do something. And she's like, just don't do that, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right. And she went outside to take a look, and she looked at the thing. She goes, yeah, that's definitely them. I go, yeah, I know.
Dude.
I'm not. They're
so you can like
kids.
see them from your front door pretty much.
Yeah. So when I come back out, after she goes out, my neighbor right next to us comes out. And he had talked to us way before with like the fight that happened outside. And he basically says like, oh yeah, that house, he goes, they're hooligans over there. He starts telling the whole life. He goes, from what I heard, the mom's a recovering crackhead. And blah, blah, blah.
Oh, the kids are they young? Are they like young
The
kids?
teenage age.
Yeah.
For sure teenage age. I don't know what realm of that, if they're like freshmen or more seniors, probably about the middle, sophomore, junior, I'd say. I clocked them at. And he was just like, yeah, we had to chase them around.
Are these potentially the kids that were fighting on the camera?
Maybe one of them, because the other one was like a young kid. But they sound like, so the guy told me like, we chased them all around here and the complex is not going to do anything. He goes, when you moved in is when the complex got good. He goes, before that it was under 4 new managers.
What would have happened? I would hate to see the bad days.
Exactly.
If the kicks on the door and the brawls and the robberies were during the good era, what were the bad days like?
Yeah. So long story short, when I was talking to the guy next door, it was funny because he's like a brother type of guy. Like when he talks,
like a white guy.
Yeah, and he was like, he made it political. He goes, you could thank the last term in office for that, brother. He goes, they used to just slap them on the wrist, and he goes, now look where we're at with life. And I'm like, okay.
What do you mean? We have a new president, and they're still robbing my car. What the hell?
That's kind of where I want to put it. I go, well, that just happened, And I go, I get the boys will be boys. He goes, no, those are no boys. Those are and I go, hooligans. He goes, yeah. Hooligans. You can tell he wants to say thugs.
You want to say, well, better thugs than the other word.
Yeah, the hard R's. But it was so funny. He brought it political out of nowhere. But he's like, yeah, man, they used to have parties in the pool area and to the point where the cops had to be called and da-da-da-da. I'm like, all right. So long story short, after all that, me and Nicole are like, well, at least me, I go, I'm not letting this fly. I go, you can be mad at me, but something's got to happen. And I talked her into the idea of, we got to let them know we know without letting them know it's us. So what we got to do is...
Oh, my God. Dude, I don't know what you're about to do, but it feels very Senning-like.
Yeah.
It feels like you're about to tell me you wrote a note.
So, no, close. So what the idea is, and I don't want to say when we're executing this, but...
so you haven't done it yet?
We haven't done it yet just because I go, we can't do it right away.
You got to bite your... you got to wait.
Because at the end of the day, we don't want to show our hand too much. I go, I have photos of them, not of them in the car, because then they're just going to know it's us, whatever. I could... pull apart where we could just show them all in one shot and they won't be able to tell where that's from. And we go put up a bunch of things at night of like photos of it. And then I go, this is going to sound bad, but I go, and I'm going to spray paint all across the door, thief or something like that. Thieves live here or something
dude, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. That's right up my, just like you said, just so they know, they don't think that they got one over on the neighborhood or that nobody knows. It's just kind of saying, hey, we know who you are. We know what you did.
Yeah.
Don't be playing that around here.
Because I got to say, we drove by them and they obviously know we don't know. And we saw like the mom who's alleged crackhead. I go, oh yeah, we go talk to her. She's going to go after yourselves, get off my property. So I was like, we got to get them back by scaring them and now we got eyes on us and we don't know where it's coming from.
To snitch or not to snitch, we got time for a few calls. Do you think Dizzy should be alerting the authorities so you didn't go to the front desk, you didn't tell anybody?
Well, it was closed that day. So it was closed for the weekend.
You have not gone to the front desk since the occurrence?
No, the idea was we're going to go today and tell them we have footage, but then if they go complain, what if they think it's us, like they know it's us now, the front desk? You know what I mean? And we become the...
Should he be snitching? 800-771-1025. This is probably one of the tougher to snitch or not to snitch, only because I would be concerned with you having kids in there and everything involving your situation that you now get onto these kids' radar. And I guess I don't like, are they kids? Like, do you think they're under the age of 18?
Yeah. Like, I had a lot of crazy stuff till we talked down to this. I was like, well, figure out what she drives. Guess who's not going to have any tires?
That's the thing, too. You could just start a campaign of payback.
Yeah.
Like, whatever that may be, slowly but surely, and just make their lives hell for a little bit. Senning Show, to snitch or not to snitch. Dizzy is living in a crime-ridden neighborhood.
I live in Gotham City.
And needs our help. Who's this?
This is Bill. Not snitch. Throw a Molotov cocktail on their car and put the picture on top of the burnt car.
Oh, dude, now that's a...
Well, you can't put it on top of the burnt car because then it'll get burned. They won't see it.
Where your head's at. I'm talking about the ash.
Now that's good. I would just say that in your response, I would not commit a crime that's worse than the crime that they committed.
Yes.
Because then nobody's going to care about the fact that they took a ring and some roaches out of your car. They're just going to care that you set a vehicle on fire in your neighborhood.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, Senning Show, to snitch or not to snitch?
I think Dizzy has every right to do what you guys just discussed. I think by putting the photos of the Ring doorbell shots, spray painting thief on it, I think it sends a message. And it's basically tit for tat, right? He's doing basically to them what they did to him. They kind of scared him. They violated his privacy. They violated his area. And it's time to do the reciprocal. And that's, I think, the least evasive way to do it, right? Like you just said, you got eyeballs on you, kids. We saw you. We know who you are. You don't know who we are. So it's the most inconspicuous way to do it.
I know who you are. I know this voice as a local legend. Do you want me to say it, or are you going incognito?
You can say whatever you want, my brother.
Dude, this is
I needed this today, guys. I needed this today.
This is Greg Wolf, the one and only.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, the in-game host for your Tampa Bay Lightning, all around man of the city, Greg Wolf. What's up, dog?
Guys, yeah, I needed a release today. I know you don't really follow my social media that closely, but I've been dealing with some loss in the family, and it's been really difficult times, and I just enjoyed this conversation, and I had to get it off my chest, and I just felt like I needed a 180 of all the negativity in my life, and hearing what Dizzy's going through and his negativity, I felt like it was time to call and give my piece. But I think just on the subject at hand, I think, again, like you guys are right. What are the police going to do? Take a report, say, that's cool. What are we supposed to do? They have bigger fish to fry. I think doing it in the method that Dizzy is mentioning, I just think that that's a solid way to send a message non-violently and to really make an impact. Because, again, like you said, they're not going to – if he does it inconspicuously and it's up and it's on there quickly, are they going to laugh at it and go, ha, ha, ha? Or no, like Dizzy said, in the back of their mind, they go, damn, they know it's us. They're now in our territory. It's like some New Jack City type move.
It really is, yeah. It's a little bit of mind games, a little bit of vigilante justice, and man, I'm sorry to hear you've been going through it, buddy.
Yeah,
and,
dog.
We absolutely love you, and it's great to hear your voice today, dude.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for giving me an outlet to kind of get away from it.
Of course, love you, bro.
You're the man.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
Greg Wolf, the artist formerly known as 3LG. I'm still trying to not call him that.
You got a great ear for that stuff.
Dude, I don't know what it is, but I know some voices. So I will say, and I'm not trying to pile on here, but I think somewhere in the text messages you said something like, I'm not going out like a bitch. And I wouldn't go as far as to say that you're showing bitch-like tendencies right now, but at this point, you have not actually done anything.
Yeah, no, exactly. And Nicole, again, she stops me from
rightfully
impulse.
so.
Yeah,
that was not a move.
No, you're right.
I mean, God only knows. God only knows what happens if you go over there with a baseball bat and a gun, and then they take the bat from you and beat you and shoot you, or you shoot one of them.
Yeah.
Like none of that is good.
I went full Florida man for a moment where I go, well, I'm going to teach these kids
You're
a lesson.
like, I'm sick of these damn thugs, man. Look what this Biden policies did to my neighborhood.
I feel like she asked me, so what's your plan? I go, well, I got this bat. The first one's on the porch. I hit him in the knee. I go, and I started explaining. I go, as I'm explaining this does sound crazy, but like, I got to do something. And then she was just like, yeah, we'll figure it out, blah, blah, blah. And that's when I started texting you. And I think that's where my head was at. Like, I need my brother to be like, go and do it, brother.
Get him.
Don't you tread on me.
Senning Show, you're live on the air. To snitch or not to snitch?
I wouldn't snitch, but I do have a question for Dizzy.
It's bad. Your phone connection's bad. I want to hear your suggestion or your whatever it is, but it's bad.
Let me take me off Bluetooth.
Yeah, please. No rush.
All right, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes. Just what did you want to say to Dizzy? Okay, thank you. We tried to. Last call, and then we're going to break. Senning Show, who's this?
I say put the thinning stickers all over the place.
Oh, that would that's
the front office and
but
everything.
See, that would then they would, if they have any memory recall at all, they would remember the car that they saw those stickers in. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, he said the Senning stickers.
Yeah.
My bad. Just put them all over his door.
Yeah, you just totally plaster the
Google
whole place.
Senning Show. Like, why does this guy have it out for me?
Yeah, or they're like, oh, I remember the front seat where we put all those.
Yeah. I'll post a video. Of them in the car.
Okay. You're going to post it? 1025 The Bone Instagram and Facebook?
Yeah, I'm going to tag them and repost it and everything.
All right. If you want to see the footage of Diz's vehicle being pillaged as he continues to be taken advantage of in his own neighborhood, like all of us, check it out. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, it's time to dig into John's Joints. We'll be reunited with Drew Garabo and lots to get to today. Dude, so many insane things going on in our country right now, even locally. Right here at the St. Pete Airport, people threatening to blow planes up. Nationally, will we be seeing a UFC event on the lawn of the White House? We'll dig into all that and a bunch more. Coming up next with John's Joints, we'll be joined by Drew Garabo. Is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs get written, classics remixed, bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes constantly. I can vouch for that. But no matter how things change in 5 years, there's one thing that will stay the same, and that is the price of your internet when you go with Xfinity. Xfinity is introducing a 5-year price guarantee. And if you can go back and look at your internet prices, you know they're going up and up and up, but not when you lock it in with Xfinity. It means you get 5 years, the most reliable Wi-Fi with their best equipment included for a price that will stay exactly the same for 5 years. Well, if you're surprised, good. Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Check it out right now at Xfinity.com/deals.
You're listening to Senning Show on 1025 The Bone. 1025 The Bone and Neutral are sending you to see one of the biggest bands of this or any generation. Oasis. Live in California. Oasis. Head to theboneonline.com now for the locations of QR code posters near you. Scan the QR code on the poster and you can score a flyaway to see Cage the Elephant open for Oasis in California, including airfare and tickets. And that's not all. You also get a pair of front row tickets to see Cage the Elephant at the Baycare Sound Clearwater on September 17th. Don't wait. Visit theboneonline.com now to find the location nearest you to register. From 1025 The Bone and Neutral, keep it tasty.
Injured? Take back control of your life. Call Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys at 1-800-747-FREE.
The heat is on, and when the heat is on, your AC is on. And when the AC is on, your money is gone. But Solar Bear has a better way to cool down your bills. Go solar now and get 12 months with 0 power payments. That's a full year of energy on the house, literally and figuratively. Solar Bear is Florida's trusted solar company, locally owned, going 10 years strong and backed by thousands of 5-star reviews. Stop letting the power company cash in on your summer, and more importantly, stop renting your power from the power companies. Call Solar Bear or visit solarbear.com and own your power before prices rise again.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. We recently received a call from an injured person. The insurance company had offered them $11,000. We took the case over and got more than $2 million in court. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Shop Jerry on Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram for some all-American savings with deals on over 1,000 vehicles during our American-made sales event. You pay what we pay with employee pricing for all. Get 0 down, 0% APR, and no payments for 90 days. Plus, scan the QR code to enter for your chance to win a new Ram 1500. All during our American-made sales event and the Make This the Summer sales event. at the #1 Ram dealer in the U.S., Jerryome. Tampa is own country. Online at jerryome.com. Call 1-800-840-0798 for complete details.
And now, breaking news. You leaving me. Your state-of-the-art 65-inch 4K smart television. For going out with friends and not staying in to watch TV. Sources confirm that is a terrible decision. Picture-in-picture mode. Do your friends have that? Can they simultaneously stream live sports and extreme baking shows? How about I make everything sepia? Whatever you want, I'll do it. Just don't put me on standby.
Don't listen to your TV. Head out with your friends and grab some ice-cold Heinekens. Must be 21 plus to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly.
I don't know what the weather looks like where you are right now, but right here it is pouring rain. A great time to get into the dry air conditioning environment of Pin Chasers. Go to pinchasers.net to reserve your lane or check out the nightly specials. You can save a ton of money and have an absolute blast. Free shoe rental, free socks, great food and drink. Always an awesome time at Pin Chasers.
It's Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and I've got something important to talk to you about, your 401k. If you have changed jobs, there are two very important considerations. You don't want to leave your 401k behind, and you don't want to roll it over into your new company plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. 401ks will often have limited investments or age-based options. Since companies have to make choices to suit all employees, they may not be suited to you, which could cost you fees and money. When you roll over your 401k into an IRA, you not only keep your money growing tax deferred, but you also gain access to a world of investment options specifically designed for you. Trajan Wealth and our fiduciary advisors have helped thousands, and we can do the same for you. Call Trajan today at 813-550-1000. That's 813-550-1000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.
Oh, hi there. This is Attorney Patrick Smith inviting you to tune into The Bone this Saturday and every Saturday from 8 to 9 a.m. for the Attorney Patrick Smith Show, where you can get all of your legal questions answered. So tune in this Saturday from 8 to 9 a.m. right here on The Bone for the Attorney Patrick Smith Show.
This hour of Senning Show is brought to you by Hawkins Service Co. One call handles it all.
1025 The Bone. Real Raw Radio. WHPT, Sarasota, Tampa, St. Pete. And 1073 WXGL HD2 St. Pete. Live from the WeatherTight Windows studio. And now, back to Senning Show. It's time for John's Choice with your host, John Senning.
It feels like it's been so long.
Nice to know ya. Let's do it again.
Yes. Welcome back to Senning Show. Every afternoon at 3 o'clock, we fire up the joints. The joints being the news of the day. Sometimes we don't get to much news. We just fire up the joints of life. And we can only do that with one man. And it's so funny. It was the first thing you said to me when you saw me, because I thought about it probably 15 times over the weekend. I'm not willing to take the full L, but pretty much over the last 3 years, Drew and I have been debating whether or not Oasis is a stadium show and they would sell out stadiums in the United States. That part we can still wait and see on, but I still felt like seeing those pictures of their first concert back together that I took an L right off the get, dude. So I will start all of this by saying your pulse on Oasis was much better than mine.
Well, my pulse on Oasis in their home country. You know, it's a little different in Great Britain than it's going to be here, although they are playing and selling out stadiums here too.
They certainly are. You could just feel it. Like, you could just, those videos, you could just feel it. I actually, right before we came back, I pulled, because I was watching the videos all weekend and blown away. And I think this was them doing one of our favorites, our dual favorites.
What a moment. Dude, the video that they had pre-show where it was like all the news clippings of them. Very emotional.
And then which one of them? I get them mixed up. The one was like broke down in tears after their first performance. You wonder, like, when you sit on it for that long and you know that you're just burning money by not getting back together, you probably, as time goes on, think, well, maybe it's not going to hit. Maybe it's not going to work. Maybe people aren't going to know the songs. Maybe people aren't going to show up. And then you get out there, and then in that moment you realize, not only did they not forget about us, but the fever and the fervorish need for the music is probably peaking right now.
The venom between Liam and Noel Gallagher probably made them believe that they were never going to perform again for years and years and years, if not decades. And then they did, and that had to be such an emotional release for both of them.
Yeah, I will be curious to see what it looks like in America because those videos, I will tell you, I looked at quite a bit of them over the weekend, and they had me feeling like I was just a little bit wrong. John's joins today. Very, very excited to welcome back to the program marijuanadoctor.com. And I'm just going to say it right off the bat. The savings are bigger than ever. You've heard in the past other deals. This one is the best we've ever offered. Bone 30 at marijuanadoctor.com now gets you $30 off your initial certification. A lot of people just looking at what's going on in the demographics of people that haven't gotten their card yet. A lot of people just don't know what's going on out there, and they think the process is harder. They just don't understand it. I'm here to tell you it is easier than you can fathom, and the products waiting for you at these dispensaries out there will blow your minds. Whether it's pre-rolls, hash, different extracts, you want a lotion you can rub all over your body, some edibles to go to bed with, whatever you can conjure up in your mind, it's available out there, but you need to get your card. They've got 40 locations throughout the state, so there's one near you. And again, code BONE30 when you book. It's the biggest savings we've ever offered. $30 off the initial certification, which will come same day. Book it now. Code BONE30 at marijuanadoctor.com.
I got the hugest deal on gummies at Cureleaf over the weekend.
Oh, nice.
I saved 140. I spent 90, saved 140.
Dude, that is the other thing that I'm not sure people are clued into is I don't want to go on the limits like they're giving it away, but you could peer and peek through all of the dispensaries, and at any given time, somewhere there is a deal that will blow your freaking mind. That you walk away from going, I think they're giving this away. This feels like I've saved too much money here today. And that's not even to mention the first time discounts that every dispensary offers. So you could go use those for a month and pay close to nothing for a bunch of stuff. A lot of times it's $50 off, $100 off. So go check it out. Bone 30 at marijuanadoctor.com. I know you probably want to talk about it a bit at the beginning of Drew Garabo Live coming up in roughly 50 minutes. But I got the feeling that the Stick Figure show hit you not like your average Thursday night concert.
Yeah, dude. I didn't think there was anything that could compare to Stick Figure at Red Rocks just because of the vibe there, the venue, et cetera. But, man, there was something about that show on Thursday night. It was special.
Dude, I could tell. And I think it was great no matter what, but I was so glad to see – because I knew, we have friends at the Amp, and I knew you could be in the pit if you wanted to be, and I knew that you also had seats, so I wondered where you would end up, and then I saw on your post that, Sarah may have pushed you into the pit, and I think when you're up...
The other way around.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I read it the other way around.
Oh, no. I pushed her into the pit. She didn't want to do it.
Because when you are close, and you are close for certain concerts, they can hit just completely different, in my opinion. Like, the Red Rocks experience, you obviously... It's beautiful. You're looking at the city below. It's like nothing you've ever seen surrounding you. But when you're up close for a concert that hits, I think that's when you really kind of connect on a deeper level, is being right up front.
You're so right. And our seats were good, real good. And we were sitting there, and I'm like, babe, the pit for Stephen Marley was insane. Like hundreds of people in there.
It mellowed for Stick Figure?
Well, no, it was insane for Stick Figure too. But when everybody left to go get beverages after Stephen Marley, I said, we're going to regret it if we don't take this opportunity to see Stick Figure from up close.
Yes.
She's like, oh, okay. So we go down, met a really cool listener to both of us named Nick and his lady, Andrea, I believe. And, man, Scott from Stick Figure came right over.
I saw the picture of him in the crowd.
K-Bong throwing water on everybody. It was special.
How was the crowd? Like size crowd? Like was the lawn open?
Yeah.
It looked in the pictures more than I was expecting. I mean, I think Stick Figure has crossed that plane of just the reggae scene, and they've now touched, I think it's kind of, this might not make sense, but almost like the Kenny Chesney beach type vibe. I think they've tapped into something that's bigger than just the rock reggae scene, it seems.
Yeah, you're right. And our buddy Rich was telling me that as of 2 weeks before the show, they had only sold 9,000 tickets. In a week, they sold 6,000, and the attendance had to be close to 20. And
oh, wow.
Dude, it was looking back at the lawn and everything, like, I'm sure they've played to bigger crowds, but you could tell. And a big shout out to Kevin, their drummer, who listens to both of us, lives in Sarasota, sent me a really nice Instagram message. And it blows my mind that the drummer from Stick Figure even knows who we are.
Dude, it's funny. I was trying to put this in text, and it wasn't making sense. Outside of California, I feel like St. Pete is to reggae musicians as Tampa is for professional wrestlers.
Oh,
like
good
there's all
observation.
these sleeper characters in the highest level of the reggae scene that happen to call St. Petersburg home. And yeah, he's a great dude. I know that they're trying to launch that band Algorithm, which has done a couple shows at Janus, and they're real close with Captain Christian as well. So yeah, that's really cool, man.
Yeah, I missed you. I really, I know you weren't feeling well, but that was one of those special shows, bro.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was battling it up until the very, very last minute because it rained all day, and I'm like, it's going to be a rain out, and then the rain cleared out, and I still.
I get
my
it.
FOMO was fairly heavy, but my big thing was I knew we had this little mini getaway planned.
Right.
And in my head, I'm like, let me rest so I can feel good for the next couple days, which thank God I did. But yeah, major FOMO. Looked like a hell of a show.
Yeah, and I'll go into the details to start the show, like you said, but the weather at the Amp was as delightful as it can be for a July show. Like there was a little bit of a breeze, no rain. It wasn't hella hot.
Dude, I saw it was so funny. You showed you were posting, and I had been seeing posts about it and stuff in the news about that new area at the Amp. But when you posted the picture, it looked like it was Cookout. Like
Yeah.
it was the logo. And I said, oh my God, did they put a Cookout in the freaking Amp? But that's just happens to be the name as well, or that's just the food part.
That's branded, just the food part. The area is called the Backyard.
That's what it is.
And the food is called the Cookout. And Chef Rudy there, another big fan. What a guy this guy is. Like the most positive dude. And they cook everything on this giant grill in front of you. Tri-tip with chimichurri, ribs. It was unbelievable.
So so you pay to get in and then just the food and everything's there?
Well, yeah. I think you pay for the food too.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Yeah, but yes, you pay to get access to the area. It's a nice little break. It's a good add-on, you know. The Amp is really doing what they can to improve the amenities there.
I know, and I would imagine that this summer is probably when they put the roof on, or do they just say we don't need a roof and we'll just keep on chugging?
Man, I couldn't believe how pleasant it was without a roof.
Yeah. I mean, thank goodness it cleared up the way that it did. We talked about it a little bit to start the show, and you and I had texted a little bit, but dude, we ended up in just the coolest little spot out in the hills of somewhere Dade City, Brooksville-esque, and I was telling Diz earlier, it's like you get off the interstate and you just don't realize you think of Tampa as just being so built up. Everything's built up. You look at all these areas and say, oh, this used to be all farmland, and you don't realize just outside of town, there's still massive areas that are not developed, and it did really at times feel like we had escaped to another state or somewhere else. And we this place was so cool because you're essentially in a circle or in like a square fenced in area, and all around you are the animals. So like at any given point, there's a cow coming up to your fence here, there's a horse coming up over here, which I think I bonded with my first horse ever.
How'd that go?
Dude,
they're interesting creatures, right?
I really felt like I had bonded on a deep level with this horse. I don't know if I was just reading into it, but he would come up, and I'm sure he's just looking for a snack or something, but you just like pet a horse's head and you look into its eyes, and it's got these big, full of emotion looking eyes. And I mean, I'm not trying to buy a horse or anything, but I don't think I had ever bonded with a horse before. And I walked away feeling like a horseman.
Do you think that he wanted you to ride him? Did you get that vibe? Like he's like, hey, why don't you jump on my back?
Maybe he may have. Dude, this is the weirdest thing that I did. Danielle was totally over me by the end of the week because I kept doing this. So I saw a video. Years ago. I've told you about this before because there was in a period of time where I stopped eating meat. And it was a guy that went up to a horse field with a saxophone, and or a cow pasture with a saxophone, and he started playing the saxophone, and all of the cows like came up to him and just were totally vibing out. So I started going out into the cow pasture and playing music for the cows and for the horses,
like on a Bluetooth speaker.
Yes, yeah. And so
God.
I would just be walking out there, and like at first I started with like "It's a Beautiful World." I think to myself.
Oh, Louis Armstrong.
Yeah.
What a wonderful world.
What a wonderful world.
Yeah.
And dude, sure enough, and again, they could have just been looking for food, but sure enough, this is within 5 minutes of us getting there, and I'm playing them Louis Armstrong, and the cows and the horses all just like walk over and look at me like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we've been waiting for this, man.
see trees.
Yeah, and it really throughout the weekend I would just go stand at the fence and play music for the animals. It just felt like like that could have very well been the first time that these creatures had ever heard music, and I just thought, what a moment for them, for all of them. Moving into the
so great.
Yeah, it was.
You just played music and just they came and then you go, all right, that's it. You just walked away after a while. Like you didn't feed them, right?
for a little bit.
Yeah.
No, well, the thing is that there was some guidance on not bothering the livestock and things like that.
Okay.
So I don't know if what I was doing was right or wrong. So by the time we left, like I was going over and that was the morning we left that I was petting the horse and we went and saw the donkeys and we were petting the donkeys and the cows were coming right up to the fence and I was really felt like I was bonding with them. But I just didn't know what I should be doing. I knew I was probably breaking the rules no matter what.
Next time you try to rent the house, it'll say like, also please don't play music in the fields.
The horses do not like Morgan Wallen.
Yeah.
But it was mostly, I played them mostly like jazz, like a lot of instrumental type stuff that they really, like imagine you're a cow and you've lived your whole life in a field, and then for the first time you get to hear, Miles Davis.
My God, what a moment,
like,
dude!
It's got to be just awe-inspiring. You just wonder.
Yeah,
I didn't know
they dug it.
They seemed like they did. If they weren't having a good time, I was.
Was that an Airbnb?
Yeah, and dude, it's so crazy. So we were like kind of not worried, but you always just never know what you're getting into at an Airbnb. So when you look at it on the map, it says so-and-so wellness center. So we found this place, and the guy bought it like within the last year. And it was a whole wellness center where there's like another building over there that I guess has kind of an event space where they would host weddings and things like that. But the idea of it was come out here and so it's like 90 acres of pasture. And then there's like 15 acres of the woods where they have trails that you walk through. So it was very hippy dippy, like come here, walk through the woods, do a forest bath, bond with the animals, like find your inner zen. That's what it used to be. And then this guy bought it. And at this point, he's just renting out the one house as the Airbnb, which felt too good to be true. Even when we were there, you just have like 100 plus acres all to yourself. And I mean, a bunch of it's just open green pasture, which was great for Brody to.
He was having the time of his life.
Really,
seeing him run brought me so much joy.
It was. Diz asked if I cried, and
of course you did.
I didn't, but
what?
It was. It was just really cool.
Dude, like seeing him running and having the time of his life.
I mean, at this point, I think we've been trying to keep track of when that day was. But for those that don't know, about 5-6 months ago, we were essentially told he's not going to make it 2 more days and that you should think about putting him down right now. And to think that there's been some bad days between then and now, but to think that he was out there just running the fields and probably having the most fun that he's had in years was a really, really cool experience. So, moving on to something much more depressing. Rescue teams in Central Texas scouring storm-ravaged terrain today, looking for any signs of life as the death toll from the catastrophic flooding rose to at least 90 and heavy bouts of rain still moving in. Among the dead, at least 27 children and counselors from the Camp Mystic, which was a beloved all-girls summer camp in Kerr County where the worst of the flooding broke out. At least 10 girls and a counselor remain missing. The Kerr County Sheriff announced in a press conference earlier today there were about 700 kids at the camp when the rain caused the nearby Guadalupe River to surge over 26 feet in less than an hour. Photos taken on the scene show a building where some of the children slept with broken windows and walls completely blown out. It is like these... I don't know if we're just in a pocket of it, and we felt it here in Florida and what the flooding that happened in North Carolina. There's more flooding happening in North Carolina right now. It just feels like these unbelievable, unforeseen natural disasters are happening at a rate that I personally do not recall in my lifetime.
No, and if you need a good sign that the end times are near, a flood ravaging an all-girls Christian camp, that's a red flag for me.
Yeah, I would say so. And it is the social experiment of it all. Just again, nothing is without political undertones or overtones. Nothing is something you can't fight about.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's that I don't know what horrific thing could happen where half of the country wouldn't point the finger at the other half of the country.
Right.
But this has been proof positive that no bad thing can happen without people digging their feet in a little bit more. And also just the craziness. Like I don't know when it became a thing that no weather just happens. Like everything now is, well, you look at this. There's a company that was just given this much money for a cloud seeding project in Texas. It's just everything can't be something all the time.
No, and back in 2017, I guess they had the option to install alarm systems and all that, and they decided not to, which now that doesn't look like such a great decision. But I don't understand how they didn't evacuate everyone in time. Like a river cresting and flooding, that seems like something that doesn't happen in an hour.
Yeah, and they did say something about this flood having a kind of an uncharacteristic wall of water, and that it was less of a slow rise and more of the span of about 40 minutes. It just kind of rushing in. But like you said, end times, whatever it may mean, but you think of just something like this horrific even taking place. It's bad, and you got to feel bad for those families and those parents that still are not fully sure what the hell's going on.
Did you ever go to sleepaway camp as a kid?
I never did. I've been thinking about that lately, and I think I always longed for it, but
same.
But I didn't. Diz, did you ever go away to any camps you had to sleep away at night?
Once, but it wasn't like that type of camp. It was like a soccer camp, and we were staying.
For gay kids, gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. UCF. We stayed in the UCF campus.
Oh, cool.
In those type of rooms. So it wasn't like go away and learn how to kayak.
Yeah, I think I missed that.
That would never interest me.
Not at any point in your life?
No, never as a kid did I want to go out in the woods and learn how to build a fire and all that. That wasn't that type of kid.
It's never too late. We can still take you out in the woods and teach you how to build a fire.
Yeah, survival skills and whatnot.
Did you?
Oh, God, no. My mom's Jewish. She's not letting me go to sleepaway camp.
There is something to it. The only thing that I ever went away to, and it wasn't even any sort of sleepaway, but it's just a reason to bring it up, was when I went to the what was it called? The summer, what the hell is it called? The Bible school study, where I learned about
summer Bible camp.
Yeah, whatever it is, and that's where I learned the. Oh God, I can't remember the song. Does anybody else remember the song?
God says,
yeah. Jumbo.
Oh, Jumbo Jesus.
Means hello. That was like we got up and went there every day and we did stuff, but we did not. We never slept in a cabin or anything.
I always thought it'd be cool to be a counselor. Like they would always have ads in the back of my comic books or whatever, like be a summer camp counselor. And I always thought that'd be pretty cool.
Oh, dude, I would imagine it's a party. All the kids go to sleep and all the counselors just start getting
smoke reefer.
Yeah, getting weird and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Man, this story is, in a way, I feel like we've all learned something that we can agree upon no matter where you align yourself politically with this. The notorious sex predator Jeffrey Epstein did not keep a supposed client list, and he was not murdered during his short stay in a Manhattan lockup. This coming directly from our Department of Justice and the FBI that concluded in a joint probe. The investigation results, which were derailed in a memo obtained by Axios, also found no evidence that Epstein ever blackmailed prominent individuals. The Trump administration plans to release a video to prove the agency's findings on Epstein's 2019 death, which bred mounds of conspiracy theories. Unless they're going to drop a smoking gun of all smoking guns, this feels like the most proof we've ever had that they all are really that bad. And whether that's the highest level of celebrity, business owner, politician, if you can get everybody on the same page to say, we need this to go away, it negatively affects everybody involved, because the gamesmanship in politics now, everybody wants to have something on somebody else. And it just makes me think nobody is safe. And they essentially all agreed upon, themselves. We got to just say it doesn't exist and try to put some closure to this.
Yeah, when you look at the names of the people who associated with Epstein, from Mick Jagger to politicians to everybody, there's absolutely no way that this is true.
Well, and the other thing and again, it's a lot of just kind of clickbait and little one-liners here that make you think, but if there was no client list, then why would he have killed him? It feels to me that would have been a major lack of evidence if you had no client list when it comes to him killing himself, because he ultimately knew that he was going to go down. So to me, that was a big part of all of this. The Attorney General, Pam Bondi, came out right after the election and said there were these hundreds or thousands of hours of video footage and that the Epstein list was sitting on her desk. And now for them to have to come out all together with people that hosted podcasts, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, these are now people that work with the FBI and have been ringing this bell for a decade to get to this moment now all come out together and go, yep, nope, turns out there's absolutely nothing here.
On the heels of the acrimonious Trump-Musk breakup, too.
Yeah, which is, and on the heels of which we didn't talk about it yet, Diddy pretty much walking free. So I don't know how or what could have happened in that jury room. I don't think it's the most insane thing ever to think that somebody could have been gotten to or maybe scared by somebody along the lines to kind of work that jury room. But to think that in the same week when it seemed like a done deal, Diddy gets acquitted on the trafficking charges, and we get news that there's no list, there's no nothing. The Jeffrey Epstein saga, it seems to me they're trying to just put it to bed.
Yeah, and like you said, there have to be some major names on that from all over the political spectrum for that to disappear.
Yeah, and you do. I think you would be pretty ignorant to not have to wonder where Donald Trump shows up on all of that. Because, I mean, this was, I think a lot of people, I don't know that they would have put it in the top 5 things that they thought Donald Trump was going to do, but I know a lot of hardcore people that support the president thought this was something he was going to do. And I mean, here we are now, you get nothing. And I think you would, with the Elon comments, with this becoming a nothing burger, you have to wonder. The only thing that makes me question that is if that was just in a file somewhere and anybody had access to it, why wouldn't the left and Biden have gotten all of the dirty details about Trump leaked out at some point if there were videos or proof that he was on a list somewhere?
It's a great question. Does Elon Musk have the juice that it takes to push a third party forward in this country?
No,
absolutely not.
I don't think so. Not even remotely.
Unfortunate.
And it's so weird to see it happen in real time because I felt like he had this little peak moment where it felt like he was kind of ramping up and there was this wobble in the MAGA movement. The bombs were about to drop in Iran. There were all these things, people going, well, that's not what I really voted for. That all kind of got squashed. I mean, Israel and Iran have not really popped off. They got his bill passed through, even though a lot of people don't like it. And it feels now that Elon's just standing out there on his own with not a lot of major support for a third party.
Yeah, and he's a very unlikable human being. Like, says just some really foul stuff.
And you just can't, there's not a, he's one of those guys, you could watch him speak a million times. You don't get like a human element.
Right.
Like you never go, like, this is a guy. Like, this is just a guy. Like, he could be a robot. He could be an alien. He could be sent from hell. But it's hard to feel like you could ever relate to him or he's saying anything human at any given point.
Yeah, someone can maybe move a third party forward, but I don't think it's this guy.
No. And I mean, what would he be able to do? I mean, he would just have to fund. He can't be president.
No.
Right? So he just have to fund it all. And I think money can buy anything. And unless you get a big head honcho, I don't think Ron DeSantis is the guy.
No way.
But you'd have to maybe grab somebody, maybe a Vivek. I don't know if he's the guy either, but you'd have to get somebody to be the face of it because Elon's not enough.
Nope.
One quick little touch on this, and then we'll take a break and get into some other stuff. The timeline, the simulation is complete. The UFC is coming to the White House. President Trump, speaking at an event in Iowa on Friday, said he is hosting a mixed martial arts event on the grounds of the White House, and it's all part of the plans to celebrate America's 250th anniversary. The UFC has confirmed the plan. UFC CEO Dana White is expected to reveal more about this soon, but there will be a UFC fight taking place on the grounds of the White House.
I would think, like, to celebrate America, maybe like the Boston Pops, like a nice symphony with American favorites, but two dudes beating each other up. Okay.
It's so weird because I don't have the venom in my heart for the current president to just hate everything that he does. And I absolutely love the UFC. Try to watch every fight. I'm a big fan. And just something about it is just, I would just say bizarre. Like the imagery that will create if they put that octagon right in front of the White House and they really have 20,000 to 25,000 people and turn the White House lawn into a venue. Like, I will just say it's going to look bizarre. And they're already talking about people coming out of retirement. John Jones has already announced that he's done with his retirement. He's back in the testing pool. People think he wants to fight. Conor McGregor saying he wants to fight at the White House. So it's just a continuation of things that feel like a dream happening in our real world. every damn day. So sometime probably near 4th of July next year, look forward to the UFC taking place at the White House.
What about Chael Sonnen? Is he still?
Yeah,
Is he still a thing?
He's got.
What's his deal?
I think he's got a TV show on ESPN. He is still a thing. Very much a character. Loves to play the heel persona all throughout that. So he's still around. Maybe get him in as like a legacy fight.
Yeah, it's a cool name
against somebody. Chael.
Is it Chael?
Chael Sonnen. Chael Sonnen. Don't go anywhere. We come back. We got more joints to fire up for you. Dude, there is a local case. It's now been, when it comes to unsolved crimes locally, this one to me, I can't believe it's unsolved. And it's now been 2 years since this murder in broad daylight took place locally and still no answers. I want to touch on that and a major win for the egg community if you don't like paying more money. We'll get to that and a bunch more with more John's Joints coming up in just a sec. But first, we love talking to you about Wind Derby right here in beautiful St. Petersburg. You like to play table games, or maybe you never played table games before. If you're into Ultimate Texas Hold'em, it is the spot for you with $5 minimums at some of the tables, free cocktails while you play. And if you're just curious, know that Wind Derby has giant murals that explain all the finer points of the game that will have you a pro before you know.
With summertime here, you're looking for options that are indoors because this heat is brutal and the thunderstorms are unpredictable. That's Wind Derby at Derby Lane. Sit down with a bunch of friends or strangers, play some table games, drink free while you're playing select table games, win yourself a ton of money, and you just might get that royal flush so you can hit a progressive jackpot.
You got to lay your eyes on Wind Derby. They've been filming movies here for decades. That huge area of greenery out back is beautiful right when you walk in. And if you're looking to host an event, whether it's a office party or something a little bit bigger, maybe you want to put out a big tent on that big green area, it's all possible. For information and tournament info, check out win-derby.com. It's win-derby.com.
You're listening to Senning Show on 102.5 The Bone. NASCAR lives on 102.5 The Bone. The cars, the drivers.
I'm not surprised, and anybody who is should rethink their NASCAR knowledge.
And all the left turns you can handle. Race Day Sundays, where NASCAR lives in Tampa Bay. Right here on 102.5 The Bone. Sponsored by Jerry Ulm Jeep Ram. #1 in the country. Now, a Bone traffic update from the Farah and Farah Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center.
In Hillsborough, there's an accident with possible road blockage along Hillsborough Avenue at Harney. Meanwhile, expect extra delays due to construction blocking the right lane northbound along Dale Mabry at I-275. The interstates and bridges themselves remain in relatively good shape, and no major traffic problems are currently being reported in Pinellas. This is Jim with traffic.
Accidents don't happen between the hours of 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. And that's exactly why the team at Farah and Farah is available to take your calls 24/7. If you've got questions, they've got answers. For a Farah fight, day or night, you know who to call. Tampa.
You know, the heat in Tampa does not play, and you have about, 8 months of it left, Tampa? But thankfully, neither does Superheat and Air and Plumbing. They've teamed up with their experts at ABC to bring you fast pro service backed by two of the best names in the business. And right now, they're offering a $29 AC system check, whether your unit's working or not. And if you need a repair, that $29 goes right towards it. Their techs are trained, their trucks are stocked, and it's all happening in the same day. If you're hearing weird noises, getting weak airflow, or just sweating too much in your home, or your electric bill is going high, don't wait. Call Superheat and Air and ABC today for guaranteed impeccable service and cooling you can count on. All you need to do is go to superheatandair.com. They'll send a trained professional HVAC technician out there today and get you taken care of. And then they're there for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So if you ever have an emergency, whether it be for your AC or your plumbing, know that Superheat and Air and Plumbing is there for you. Call them at 813-618-5818. That's 813-618-5818 or superheatandair.com. Tell them Mike Calta sent you.
Jersey College is a nursing school where faculty know how to give you the resources and support you need with encouragement and real connection.
Hi, my name is Ebony and I'm a graduate of Jersey College. I felt like Jersey College truly cared about me. This experience was a life changer for me. It's a great feeling. You have to try. Don't doubt yourself. If I can do it, anybody can do it.
Classes are enrolling now at our campuses in Tampa, Largo, Brooksville, Naples, and Port Charlotte. Apply now at jerseycollege.edu.
Hey, did you know that with Frontier Fiber Internet, the best Wi-Fi isn't just for VIPs anymore?
So even if I have less than 1 million followers?
Or me, a total noob? What if I'm not in the metaverse yet?
Yeah, now everyone can get Wi-Fi 7 with a premium Eero router on Fiber 500 and up. Now starting at only $39.99 per month. Switch to the most advanced Wi-Fi on 100% fiber internet. Only from Frontier. Good to go. In select areas, price for 12 months with autopay. ETF terms apply. Max speeds wired. Actual average and Wi-Fi speed vary.
Kickstart your betting journey the right way on Hard Rock Bet. New customers who bet just $5 get $150 in bonus bets instantly. That's right. Bet $5, get $150 in your account to use like cash on your next picks. And Hard Rock Bet is turning your weekend nights up a notch. Every Friday, Saturday, Sunday night after 11 p.m., you'll get a profit boost for a live table tennis bet with matches around the clock. It's Hard Rock Bet. Bet on baseball, basketball, UFC, hockey, and soon NFL. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 888-ADMIT-IT.
Find your path at Hillsborough Community College. HCC offers affordable, flexible options for earning an associate degree or certificate. Our dynamic learning environment offers expert faculty and engaging student life, and our convenient class schedules fit your schedule. Then seamlessly transfer to a four-year university or start your career right away. At HCC, we'll get you there. Register now at hccfl.edu.
I can't think of anyone who really loves moving off the top of my head, but I do know that Good Greek Moving and Storage has dealt with your unique situations before. Don't get overwhelmed. Go with the company that is entrusted by multiple professional sports organizations. Even if you moved yourself and you need somebody to unpack, Good Greek can do it. Seriously, it's a one-stop shop for anything moving related. Get a free moving quote by going to goodgreek.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Our firm handles hundreds of crash cases involving semi-trucks every year. A crash case involving semis is much different. And if you don't know what you're doing, you can leave lots of money on the table. Many times there is separate insurance for the cab and for the trailer. Sometimes there are actually layers of other insurances and excess insurance that some lawyers may not know about because they don't see that many cases. We see these cases every day. Also, there are federal laws governing the hours a driver may drive in a 24-hour period and logs that are required. A crash case involving a semi-truck is a totally different animal than a simple car crash. We have lawyers who only handle these cases. It's all they do. Rolling the dice with the wrong law firm can be disastrous. Call us on your cell phone at Pound Law, pound 529. It's so easy. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Stop your grinding with Brooks Night Guard. Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. I ended up going to a dentist, and he wants to charge over $600 for a night guard. That's when I found the Brooks Night Guard. You mold it at home to the top or bottom teeth. Other mouth guards go all the way to the back, which allows the back teeth to touch. This is where most of the grinding and clenching occurs. The Brooks Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brooks Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Order your Brooks Night Guard today and get 10% off plus free shipping. Go to brooksnightguard.com and enter the code BROOKS91. That's BRUX91. Stop your grinding with Brooks Night Guard.
1025 The Bone and Stella Artois are on a mission to find the best wings in the Bay. Voted Brewlands, Whiskey Wings St. Pete, and Quaker Steak. Scan the QR code. Vote, and you can win Stella swag, beer, bragging rights. You decide. Go to thebestwingsinthebay.com for details.
Involved in a car accident? We understand the pressure you're under. Call Farah and Farah.
Tampa. Do rain or bugs have your car looking dirty? Well, Bubble Down Car Wash has you covered. They offer longer wash tunnels, powerful vacuums, and the friendliest staff. Check out BubbleDown.com to find a Bubble Down Car Wash location near you.
Now, a weather update from the Sun Toyota Weather Center.
Sun, Toyota.com.
I'm Fox 13 Chief Meteorologist Paul Delgado. Summertime pattern locked in. Any showers or storms inland ending tonight. Lows near 80. Mixed sun clouds on Tuesday. Showers and thunder showers slow moving and highs around 90.
Now, back to Real Raw Radio. Sponsored by Anajar and Levine. Accident attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
And now, back to Senning Show. With your host, John Senning.
I wanna be bad with you, girl, like we're robbing a bank. I wanna be mad at the world, like it took you away. Don't wanna be mad at myself.
Welcome back to Senning Show. We got a few more joints to fire up before we hand things over to Drew Garabo live. A cat named Mo will be in the building. Have you guys been together since all the hubbub about him not wanting to do comedy?
Well, I feel like that was like all last week, but yeah.
My days are, you guys spent the day together after that all happened.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you know, I respect where he's coming from.
What?
Well, for me, my standards put me in any position to get in front of our biggest fans, and I'm going to jump at that. I think, especially the people who are getting rooms out at the Sky Beach.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be in front of those people. I want to be doing karaoke with them. Anything you tell me to do for that weekend, I would love to do it. But, you know, Mo has his reputation as a stand-up comedian, I suppose, and so he doesn't want to do it.
You
know.
If it's not Amalie Arena, he should definitely not.
Yeah, that's
my thoughts.
You know, it's I love Mo.
Me too.
I absolutely love Mo.
Me too.
And
but
it is. I think the other thing is that I know that he would just do good. You know what I mean? Like, I think if he got up there, and I heard somebody else say, it might have been you, Drew, even, if he gets up there and just does nothing but crowd work, starts pointing out people that are sitting around, razzing people, all that, you know that people would absolutely love it and be going crazy. But the man is an artiste, and an artiste does not just perform when somebody says perform. It must be in the perfect location, and
Can you be a stand-up comedian if you haven't done a stand-up comedy gig in a year? Are you still like?
I don't know how that goes. If there's like a card, if you get if you need to re-up your card and have done a live show at any given point. The one thing that I've taken away from the people in and around this station that are stand-up comics hate each other.
Oh yes,
like there is such a constant. I think. Maybe it's not that they hate everybody. I think there are very, very strong cliques. And it's right when you get out of those cliques, everybody's just throwing bombs. And it's probably because it's a finite amount of spots in Tampa where you're going to get booked on certain gigs. So I think people are territorial. But it's hard to talk about any comic with another comic without some sort of bombs being thrown. It feels.
Yeah, and I think all of them if this makes any sense at all, simultaneously think they're funnier than anyone else, yet if you were to examine what's really in their psyche, they don't think they're funny at all.
Right, and I think there's a little bit of radio guy in there too.
Oh,
it's cranked up all the way. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
There was some. It was so funny because, and I'm not stirring up trouble.
No, please do.
Well, no, just I think anybody who has ears heard it.
Yeah.
And anybody who heard it the same exact way. It's like Mo would list off 10 things that like Johnny B has done or would do and then go, and I would never do that. But I don't mean anything bad towards Johnny, though.
Yeah, those two, it's so interesting because I met them both on the same day. It was that Bone talent contest or whatever. Yeah. And they both did very well. I think Johnny came in first, Mo came in second. They won a spot on the Bone. That was like 11 years ago, and they're both still here. They don't care for each other.
Dude, I will tell you, if you really want, and I don't think either one of them would do it, but if you wanted to buy into that, dude, Friday night or Saturday night, roast battle, Johnny B versus a cat named Mo.
Oh, my God.
Line for line. That is what you want to talk about. Like Mo's thing was nobody's going to be paying attention. You book it under a roast battle with Johnny and Mo.
Man.
Everybody is huddled around the stage to catch that. I don't know if it's too late to go back to the drawing board. I'd like to
a funny face-off. I like that.
I'd like to pitch it.
That's great.
Oh, that would be awesome. Like line for line, just like Johnny says something, Mo says like a battle rap, almost like 8 Mile.
It's like Versus. When we had COVID, they had all the performers do the verses, like that.
I thought you were gonna say what's the other one? It was on MTV. Wild and Out.
Oh yeah,
it was
with
like
Nick Cannon.
Was like that.
Yeah,
was
Black
like that
Whose
too.
Line's It Anyway?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whose black line is it anyway?
And it is weird. I think they actually have love for each other.
They do not.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. I mean, that's nice of you to say. They absolutely do not. They play nice on the air, and I appreciate that.
They're cordial.
In between digs.
But in between subtle digs. But if you were to cut them open and see what's inside, an unhealthy amount of disrespect and disdain for each other. Absolutely.
Man.
And I'm here for it.
Dude, the roast battle.
Oh, my
John
God.
Brennan, I don't know where you are.
Oh.
I know that, people seem to just have the choice to change the schedule and not do things that are put on it, but I'd say book it.
Oh, man. Without diplomacy and like maybe a couple of neutrals deep.
Dude, what if it was like a late night? You did it. Well, Mo said he's going to bed at 6 o'clock, but you did it like after the bonfire when everybody's really toasted up, including both of them.
Oh, man.
We'll see. We'll see.
But I mean, we'll all be like all entertained out after the members of Pitbull, Toddler, and Zach.
Exactly. Yeah, that is true. Dude, so we talked about it earlier, and I wanted to play it just because I was trying to find it, and I found it during the commercial break. People pointing to a episode of Unsolved Mysteries from 1987 where the same river affected the same towns and also swept away a group of church camp kids.
On Friday morning, July 17th, 1987, the small town of Comfort, Texas, became the scene of a heroic rescue and tragic loss. Much of the footage you will see was taped on that day by the banks of the Guadalupe River.
I'm saying it's Unsolved Mysteries. It's not Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh, what is
That's
it?
William Shatner.
Oh.
I don't know why I thought
What
that
one
was
did he didn't do Unsolved Mysteries?
No.
It was the day they were supposed to go home. The more than 300 children at the church camp were awakened early. The river was flooding. If they didn't leave soon, their buses might not be able to leave at all.
So, yes, if you were wondering if that is true, July 17th, the same river in 1987 did almost the same thing. And it sounds like, from what I'm hearing, that area just has a bunch of camps, like school camps and Christian camps and stuff. So it wiped away another camp. But, man, everything's just a cycle. Everything's going to happen. Everything that's happening will happen again.
Yeah. Unexplained
One
was
day.
the show with William Shatner.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
I was going to say, was there another Rescue 911?
Yeah, that was one too.
Was that Shatner?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Rescue 911.
Oh, I was thinking Dennis Leary. That's Rescue Me.
It used to bump. Yeah, it used to bump up to Unsolved Mysteries.
That was like early 90s, really early 90s.
Yeah. Man, every time I see this story pop back up, I'm not a police officer. I'm not an investigator. So my feelings really mean nothing at all. But something like this that happened in front of a group of people on the 4th of July at one of the most popular places to go watch fireworks. A 7-year-old kid was shot and killed. And to this day, they still don't have answers. And it's only when the anniversary comes up that you hear anything about it. The Tampa Police Department said that his death happened shortly after an argument started between two groups of men over reckless driving on a jet ski near an area in the water where kids were playing. That argument escalated into shots being fired between those two groups, and the young kid, Yitzian Torres Garcia, was shot and killed. His grandfather, once he heard the shots, put his body over top of his grandson. He was shot in the hand, and sadly, one of those bullets made its way in and took the life of their 7-year-old grandson. I just don't know with that many people. The theme and the line that always comes up in crimes is somebody knows something. Like, you've got all these people on these jet skis. You've got the crews that they're with. One of those people knows who pulled out a gun and started shooting. And maybe their conscience is battered enough that their life is ruined, that they're going to know that they took the life of a 7-year-old kid. But just from a common sense perspective, how something so egregious in such a public place can happen. And here we are 2 years later, no arrest and no real advancement in the case. Really one of the glaring unsolved mysteries and crimes locally than anything else, I'd say.
I would say a lot of someone's knows something
Yeah.
in this case, and they're just protecting whoever shot the kid. Like, there's almost a code, if you will, that you don't snitch or you don't say. I guarantee you there are more than 5 people who were there that day who know exactly who shot and killed that kid.
That's the thing. It's one thing if you're the person who did it and then you decide whatever, you're going to let it be on you forever. But then just the people that know, you know what I mean? Like, there are innocent, probably, quote unquote, they can't be anymore, would have considered themselves good people who now are protecting. The TPD released a statement. We want to hold those responsible accountable, and they're just asking for help. We urge anyone with information to think about the Torres family and what they've endured the last 2 years, and please share it with our detectives and Crime Stoppers. No tip too small in this case. They have a $25,000 reward from Crime Stoppers currently, and it's just, I remember getting into months after it and being like, can't believe this has not been solved and they haven't found out who did this. And here we are 2 years later, and still nobody has stepped up with any information about this.
Yeah, and I think there was they had like a memorial service or something, and like it was on the side of the Courtney Campbell. I heard you guys talking about the lightning strikes at St. Pete Beach earlier.
Dude, people are just getting struck by lightning all of the time now.
Insane.
And that got a family. And I think one of them had to be taken to the hospital. They're going to be okay. But a bunch of people walked away. It really is, the storms have been bad the last couple weeks. But any thought that I had in my life of like, you're never going to get struck by lightning. Now I feel like if I'm outside and there's lightning, like I'm going to be struck by lightning.
Or inside. You see the girl last week who had her phone on her charger, and the phone and lightning hit the house, and the lightning traveled up the charger, pop. She didn't die, but I mean, it hit her hard.
Oh, no.
Crazy.
I never saw that.
Yeah.
And my dad would always be, I don't know if your dads were the same way. You can't take a shower or a bath.
I think that's real.
Yeah,
What?
yeah,
I
like
think
you
it's
can't
real.
take a shower or a bath in a lightning storm. I don't know. I guess we could have gotten struck and killed. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it is a thing. They say that the water, if the lightning hits, it can run through the water. No, you shouldn't take a bath or a shower during lightning. Lightning can travel through plumbing. Lightning often seeks the easiest path to the ground, and metal pipes and wires within your home, including the plumbing, act as conductors. Water conducts electricity. Since water carries the currents, you could be shocked if the lightning strikes your home and travels through the water.
Oh, what a way to go.
Dude, you're just like showering, and then you hear the thunder, then
Or what if you're on the toilet and it just like lightning just strikes your BH?
Or like a bidet.
Oh.
Dude, you get a lightning bolt right up the BH. And just because
that would cause an involuntary orgasm. Let's be honest.
Oh, dude, you'd be squirting.
Well, yeah. I mean, come on, going at the same time.
Yo,
I'm just saying. It's and just a little nice anecdote.
Yes.
Waffle House has dropped the temporary 50-cent surcharge for eggs. So if you found yourself not going to Waffle House because you didn't want to pay the 50-cent surcharge for eggs, just know we're back, baby, and your Waffle House eggs will be devoid of that surcharge.
Got our eggs back. Release the list now.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That's all we really needed. Do not go anywhere. Drew Garabo Live is coming up next with the very talented stand-up comedian himself, a cat named Mo. I heard he is announcing his next theater tour on the show sometime soon. I love you, Mo. But before we get out of here, we love telling you about our good buddy, Jeff Borum.
Congrats to Jeff, too. Just saw that he got engaged on the Instagram. We love you, bud. And Jeff Borum, well, he knows where you want to live. He knows all the hot zips. He knows everything about buying and selling homes. He's a marketing maven. You need to go with Jeff Borum.
Right now, more than ever, you need somebody that you can trust that is really going to do the heavy lifting for you. So many things working in and around the real estate market in Tampa. Houses are sitting a little bit longer. You need somebody you can trust that's going to kick up that masterful marketing machine and get you a buyer quick. Some areas have been flooded. Other areas still coming back from the hurricane. And like Drew alluded to, Jeff Borum knows the area. You want him on your side. Whatever your real estate needs are, you've got to go with Jeff Borum.
Yep. Team Borum's powered by EXP Realty. And with Jeff, you've got options. Buy your home, sell your home, or rent your home. Google him right now, and you might be packing tonight. That's BORHAM for Jeff Borum.
Thank you to everybody who participated in the program today. Thank you, Dizzy. Appreciate you. Hopefully there's no backlash for the crime spree that's taking place in your neighborhood. Is that video up on the Bone
it's
Instagram?
Up. Yeah, it's on mine. It's on the Bone, and I'm going to take them back. That's all I'm going to say.
It's
good luck, Diz.
Yeah, that's all. Thoughts and prayers is all we can offer you. Senning Show will be back live tomorrow at 1 p.m. The return of JoJo. She has not been in the studio since we had our moment Let's see how it goes tomorrow. Judge Juicy back in session tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Have a great night. Drew Garabo live up next.
You're listening to Senning Show on 102.5 The Bone. We are Real Raw Radio. 102.5 The Bone. Breaking summer news. All the rooms at the Sky Beach Resort for the Bone Summer Beach Bash are completely sold out. But good news, you can still come out and party for free. Neutral presents the Bone Summer Beach Bash. An entire weekend of awesome events and hanging out with all your favorite people from the Bone. Plus, it's absolutely free to get in. It's all happening July 18th through the 20th at the beautiful Sky Beach Resort in St. Pete, a bayfront oasis with a private beach at the southernmost tip of St. Petersburg in the Skyway District. No matter what you do, don't miss the Bone Summer Beach Bash, presented by Neutral and 102.5 The Bone. Special thanks to attorney Patrick Smith, The Brisket Shop, and Wild Fork. Now, a Bone traffic update from the Farah and Farah Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center.
In Hillsborough, there's an accident with possible road blockage along Hillsborough Avenue at Harney. Meanwhile, expect extra delays due to construction blocking the right lane northbound along Dale Mabry at I-275. The interstates and bridges themselves remain in relatively good shape, and no major traffic problems are currently being reported in Pinellas. This is Jim with traffic.
Mecum Auctions returns to Osceola Heritage Park July 19th to the 12th with 1,500 muscle cars, classics, Corvettes, trucks, exotics, hot rod, customs, and more. Register to bid and buy spectator tickets at Mecum.com. That's Mecum.com.
For decades, Camtech School of Construction has been the leader in preparing thousands of people to advance their career as a licensed contractor. Join Camtech's free info seminar this Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Embassy Suites, USF, 3705 Spectrum Boulevard in Tampa. 1-800-875-PASS. CamTechSchool.com.
If you ever find yourself inside the emergency room, surrounded by these sounds, by these voices, by these machines, may you find our team of expert emergency caregivers at your side.
You're gonna be okay. Just grab my hand.
This is the power of the human spirit. Advent Health ER, 24/7 access to convenient emergency care. Go to theerexperts.com for locations near you. Advent Health. Feel whole.
At Brandon Honda,